Hey everybody, welcome to Delta Green RPG Twitch channel. I'm Caleb of Delta Green Dead Channels. This is a dream you're having. Isn't it sad how mundane they've been? You're not sailing like a sea of stars or anything like that. You're just imagining five dudes playing a Twitch game. Yeah, things have gotten that bad. But anyway, we're here until you wake up. So for all 10 minutes of this rim cycle, we are going to play Insolent Impulse, which is a little campaign I just came up on the fly because I wanted to do something new. And I convinced a number of distinguished muckety-mucks in the Titterpig sphere to join me, who should introduce themselves in Discord order now, along with their characters.
Hey, it's Russ Payton with Role Playing Public Radio and Tabletop RPG you might have heard of. Or if not, check out Role Playing Public Radio and RPP Actual Play. I am playing Cassidy Sturgeon, a software developer who's seen some shit and wishes she hasn't. And has been the behind-the-scenes hacker for Delta Green until this job, which is, it's going to go great for Cassidy. I have high hopes for her. I think it's going to be fine. So, but yeah, check out Roleplay Public Radio.
Yeah, I promise you, if you're new to Twitch, Delta Green, that he does not make that voice all the time.
No,
it's just near the beginning and then it peters out. So we're good. Keep watching. Next.
Hello, everyone. This is Rob. I've got my own cosmic horror espionage game, but with lots of superpowers and anime shit called the Orpheus Protocol. You can listen to the podcast, get the beta rules for free, and the book is coming out when it comes out. Also, you can feel free to check out Keepsake. It's a drama/horror film that we are kickstarting the ends of the budget for. Right now, it's already written, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that as well.
I backed it, so should you.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ross. I'm playing Levi Holtz, an InfoSec specialist, lately obsessed with self-defense in the wake of a mass shooting incident.
Yes. The content warning is coming, because it's a Delta Green game. Come on. Anyway, next.
Hi, I'm Greg Stolze. I've written a lot of stuff for Delta Green. I wrote Wild Talents, or the game mechanics for that in Godlike. Lately, been doing a lot of science fiction stuff with Termination Shock. And, tons of fiction. If you go to gregstolze.com, which I'm sure that Caleb will link somewhere where there's links and shit, you can go there to the fiction library and read a bunch of free fiction the next time that you need free fiction. I will be playing Mace Hoffman, a ex-con who has been blackmailed into helping Delta Green create fake documents. And they have decided that that his use can extend to being a fungible operative, where nobody's gonna miss this guy except his wife, and whatever. So he has never seen any unnatural shit, but he has heard rumors and is paying close attention to how all these very serious people seem to be taking very weird stuff very seriously. So he's curious, which I'm sure is going to work out great for him. Right after Cassidy breaks the glass ceiling, figure it all out.
Yeah. And last but not least...
Hi, I'm Shane Ivey. I run Arc Dream Publishing and publish Delta Green, and co-wrote with Greg and a few other people the core rules for Delta Green, the role-playing game. And I'm playing...
A few other people.
Yeah, I'm playing Mike Martinez, who is a special agent with the FBI's Criminal Investigative Division. And he's the veteran Delta Green agent of our team, and is ideally going to keep the others alive, more or less, for a while.
Thank you for joining us despite your busy schedule of raising international shipping rates around the world.
Single-handedly. Yeah.
It's a big job, but you're up to it.
It does take a lot of work.
Speaking of people I'm going to ignore, I'm not going to look at the comments like I normally do in a Twitch chat. So that is one thing to get away, because we are playing a game and Delta Green is about the mood. And the mood needs to be maintained, and I can't really do that while looking at the chat. That's why Baz is with us on the ones and twos, fielding your questions, yes, and helping.
And on that note of questions, yeah,
Yes.
let's try and keep it specific to the game and at play right now.
Yes, because the last thing I want to do is to look at a bunch of Excel sheets and tell you what the exact weight of a package may or may not be if that country does or does not exist in the year 2025. We're just going to live in a dream world of magic and nihilism. So we're going to be busy doing that.
Postal rates to Karka
Free, which is great. That's what everyone wants, right?
Mhm.
Anyway, you
to nightmare reality.
yeah, exactly.
Use the promo code Holly Express.
The dream of Event Horizon is real in Delta Green.
Holly Baba.
Nice.
All right, Greg's fired. We'll find a replacement real quick.
All right. Anyway, along that ends, we are going to be talking about traumatic, horrific stuff. The X card is effect for my players because they can just Discord message me, and that's not going to be on our stream. So we're taking each other, but it is all her game. And you are just watching, so maintain your own comfort level as you will, as I will help maintain the comfort level of my players. So
first 2 rows may get wet.
Yes. What we are going to do is it's going to be a little campaign. I don't know how long it is. It depends on how things go. We're going to just roll dice, old style, and try and keep it as analog as possible, aside from all the cameras and streaming through satellites in space. And we're just going to try to have fun with it. And I've never play tested it before, and we'll see. There's also some little audio-visual stuff I did. Because if you have nothing to be spoopy with but a podcast, you got to make a spoopy podcast. It's the Hammer and Nails of 2021. So we're gonna try that out too, as a sort of a mixed media thing as we go. But let's get started with the home rules of Delta Green, which are written by 2 people here and wonderful for campaign play. So I suppose we should start off with Mike Martinez. Of all the things you could do at home between your busy schedule of Delta Green, where do you live? What are you doing with your bond? Are you even with your bonds? Are you doing Krav Maga? I don't know. What are you into, man?
Yeah, so Mike lives in lives in El Paso, not too far from where he was born, Santa Fe, and his job is with the FBI, and it's a lot of things to do with counterterrorism and narcotics and the cartels and narco-terrorism, and that tends to eat up all of his time. And he's one of these professional guys who lets his commitment to his job eat up all of his time to the exclusion of everything else. So he has a sister who lives back home in Santa Fe, which is not too terribly far, but she has her own family to take care of, and that's really the only particularly close person in his life after the past 15 years in law enforcement.
How many kids does she have? How many kids are you Uncle Martinez to? Uncle
Mike. Yeah, distant Uncle Martinez to 3 kids.
Nice. Who's the oldest and who's the youngest? What are the ages?
It's going to be John at this is Smith. This is Veronica Martinez Smith is the sister. So John she's younger than I am at 36. So we'll say 8. So I think the ages are like 8, 5, and 3. Yeah. And so John and Lisa and Wendy. Very traditional middle American.
What drab FBI
for
thing
the family
are you doing
that she
when you get a
married
phone
into?
Message?
drab FBI thing. Just paperwork, endless paperwork. On the it's mostly
your phone
digitized at this point, but nevertheless, you still have to fill it out and click.
Your sister's a serial texter. You know instantly. Just hey, bro, what's up? You need your phone explodes annoyingly. Your cubicle mate looks at you with a suppressed hatred. She really wants you to know about the 8-year-old's birthday coming up, and wants to know if you're gonna come out. They've got an Airbnb on the property, but they can not rent it out if you're gonna be there, if you need a place to stay, but their scheduling and it's just all this kind of stuff.
I'll tell her I will absolutely be there, and put a little asterisk after the word absolutely. Like literally type the asterisk on the iPhone.
Yeah, so before you hit send, you get a notification on the same phone that says that you are being cleared for insolent impulse, and to report to the Phoenix office of the FBI immediately. And that it has been cleared with your supervisors.
Okay, yeah. How far out is the birthday?
You got about a week.
Yeah, okay. I'll put a second asterisk after the absolutely, and then hit send.
All right, nice. Mace, what are you doing in your everyday life?
Just chilling. Probably working some kind of almost legal internet grift involving supplements that, make promises that are not at all FDA backed up. It's, these are the male energy supplements that they don't want you to know about.
Are you trying to sell that to your neighbors?
Oh God, no. I respect them far too much. No, this is all online. They've seen my face. This is all through New Model Solutions, a limited liability corporation.
Oh, what does Carla think of this? Is she in on it? Is she helping pack the?
She's resignedly helping pack. She would really love it if Mace got a legitimate, honest job like used car salesman or something. And he's trying. But it's it's hard out there. It's hard out there for an ex-con. So nobody really wants to trust Mace with their money, except for people who really want to trust Mace with their money.
All right,
so he's trying to keep this as deniably legal as possible.
Agent Martinez, how do you tug the leash of your pet friendly and let him know it is time to go work?
Well, where could Mace be found?
Okay, so for the purposes of the game, he could have moved out of Florida to some other, maybe the Texas coast. Just fresh start idea. Too much bad stuff in Florida, plus palmetto bugs. Possibly at the encouragement of Delta Green, which is like, we can get your wife a job.
In that voice, literally.
Yeah.
When you have a meeting with somebody. We
want to help you get a second start.
Right. No, I'll send my, I'll sort of get my Mace burner phone and send it to Mace's Mike burner phone, and text time and date. Phoenix.
Hey, here's a good. We're trying a new skill, right?
Yeah.
Instead of disguise, we're trying tradecraft. Why don't you roll tradecraft? There.
Well, okay.
Mace Hoffman.
Oh,
Mace Hoffman needs to roll it. He's the one receiving the call on
right.
the burner phone that wives love to find. Let me tell you.
Oh, missed it by 8.
Yeah, nothing makes a wife happier than finding.
I was gonna say
where
maybe I
did you
should
hide it that she got to it first, Mace.
It was behind a light switch.
Hello? What the fuck? What is this?
This is buzzing coming from the wall, and he's like, "Oh," and he looks at his regular phone. He's like, "Hey, hun, you're gonna laugh about this. You remember Brenda, right? We're setting something up for your birthday, and you know how shipping is these days, so it's taking a little extra preparation, and it was supposed to just alert me so that I could
I swear to Christ, Mace, I am gone if you go back inside. You understand that?
I'm not going back inside. We are.
Put the phone in the wall, Mace. You think I'm a goddamn Vitamax bullshit? She just walks out of the house.
There's no law against keeping your phone in the wall, Carl.
Can I
Scenes from a marriage story, huh?
Yeah, let me interject one reason that it's good that she didn't get the phone out and look at it herself, and that is because, of course, for tradecraft reasons, I've been sending Mace occasional selfies as if taken by his secret girlfriend. And that's why he's got this secret phone squirreled away.
Oh, I think it was like a flip phone.
Oh, well. They make they have those with this is the I was gonna say this is the Generation 2 flip phones where you can get the pictures.
Oh man. Yeah.
Those
get deleted immediately.
I don't know, with the failed tradecraft roll?
Hola, boss.
Oh, I didn't call. It's just a text.
Okay.
Phoenix,
so
Phoenix Airport at this date, at this time. The
or else implied.
Yeah, Southwest Airlines counter.
Nice.
Is it within driving distance, or am I gonna have to fly?
You'd be going all the way across Texas, so you could drive it, but that's going to be hours, and it's across Texas, which means it's flat.
Texting back. NEED $$$$$.
Yeah, you have Delta Green can give you that. It's pretty incidental. Yeah. The Martinez has that. I don't know if he gives it to you or if he just banks the miles, but he totally is given that by Delta Green. So that's up to him.
I'll send him another photo of my collection of the selfies of his fake girlfriend in reply.
Not cool, boss.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's Phoenix in summer. How expensive could tickets be? Anyway, Levi, what are you doing when you get the message?
Oh, I'm probably doing some yoga, keeping hydrated, doing the 15-20 minutes of that when I wake up that it takes to walk around without any pain, and just waiting for something to happen. I think we just closed out a big case, and unless one of my alerts dings, I don't have law work for a while. So I'm just focusing on the next class that I have to help teach, which is going to be later on in the day, and I'll probably be mysteriously absent from.
How did Martinez get a hold of you after he let you know that thing you did right before the shooting, that was maybe not such a one-off in the grand scheme of the American security state? How did he say he would get in contact with you again?
I assume I was happy to set up a burner with him, like after he probably literally dropped in on my hospital stay and told me what was what. After what happened, I don't think that I'm ever going to stop thinking about it, really. And Levi's kind of just the sort of guy who's going to die trying anyway. He already was before that whole dimension got added onto it, so he's willing to drop whatever.
Yeah. Your gym bag buzzes ominously. You don't think you're going to make a workout today. What about you, Cassidy? How are you dealing in the wake of your last so successful op in that you didn't die? Yeah.
Well, what what day is it, and what time of day is it? I guess
It is a Sunday
Sunday.
on September 10th. Yes.
Okay, like what time of day? Early or like?
Yeah, about middle day. What would you do in an
Okay.
average workday as a DoD contractor?
Well, you said this is a Sunday, so
Yeah.
yeah. So I am waking up hungover from going on a brew tour with my friends, and yeah, just trying to enjoy life while I can. So just don't think about it. That's future Cassidy's problem.
Who'd you go out with?
That'd be
Did you go
her.
out? Did you go out with your friends? Did you go out with?
A group of friends, including my BFF, Sabrina, and yeah, trying out some different breweries and clubs, and just trying to be social, trying to be normal. Yeah.
Are you at your place?
Yeah. I went home alone.
Did Sabrina drive home or?
We Ubered back. Or like Sabrina, I Ubered back home alone.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. How do you get in contact with Martinez?
Is this my question?
Yeah.
I gave Martinez very specific instructions on how to use like a secure encrypted messaging app that deletes the messages after they're seen for like a minute. So it's like kind of like texting on a phone, but like it's as secure as I can make it.
Oh, great! So it's just slave to your regular device. You don't have the burner thing.
It's like routed through a burner, and then the burner routes it to another burner, then to my phone. So
oh, great! So it's just like CNN notification, text. Your worst nightmare, Rolsan.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
No, all right. I make that.
Yeah, you've the cognitive behavioral therapy is good. You do your breathing. You don't see the man turn into fire and bleed through the door. That you never saw that. No one else saw that but you. And then he got shot. Nobody can shoot fire. That definitely, it was just a guy. And it's fine. It's just Phoenix. What could happen if it's too bright there? There's no monsters. Yeah. So
even though mythologically the Phoenix is a monster made of fire that
really,
can't
Mace?
be killed,
really
comes back to life.
Thanks,
regenerated and inflamed.
You're not there, Greg.
Yeah, this is why I'm not. This is why I don't share my secrets with the con artist.
all right, you are all pulled by a TSA random search when you arrive at the Phoenix airport and moved to a back conference room where Martinez, who would you expect to brief you on this? Who is your handler?
Yeah, so there's a Atkinson, who's never gives her first name, and I kind of expect Atkinson to change from time to time anyway. But yeah, she's what I know is that she's dealt with me several times, and the things that I've been in, I know she deals with one other team in the Southwest, but we're kept pretty well insulated.
Well, she's waiting for all of you there when you get into the little interrogation room in the back warrens of the Phoenix airport. She greets Martinez first and waits till you all arrive, and then she says, we're clearancing this Insolent impulse. We've had a shooting, you probably read about it on the news, at a local engineering firm called Cogent Engineering that has been subcontracted for content moderation by Facebook. It appears to have been a directed killing, not a political act of terrorism. There is indication of an affair between one of the victims and the shooter. Deaths did not additionally twig our instance. As of yesterday, a friendly within Cogent messaged us with an accusation that 2 additional killings have occurred in that same week in the same building, that the company can find no connection between and is currently being covered up.
How many dead are we talking about in these 3 incidents?
Derek Rutherford shot himself, secretary Muriel Desmond, and Young So Gim, his manager, on Thursday. This Topher Ajay is saying that there are at least 2 more bodies. One is an incident from Saturday, also reported to the local police, where an Ashley Bray, a former employee of Filigree Private Security Services that does the on-site services for Cogent campus, attacked her former employer in a sort of disgruntled rage, with no casualties aside from the shooter. This is not being reported as the problem of Cogent or of Facebook, as Filigree has operations besides Cogent. There's also apparently a janitor, a Wes Hoffman, who died on scene and was not discovered until the weekend.
Died on scene, meaning what? He killed himself?
I do not know. Mr. Ajay says that they're being covered up. His exposure to the group is limited, as is his understanding of our mandate.
All right.
But
What
you
was
will
the
need
name
to
of
go.
the secretary?
Muriel
Pardon me.
Desmond.
Muriel Desmond.
Easy enough. You will be going in to investigate the initial shooting of Derek Rutherford. This has already been considered closed by local authorities and not a federal crime. You may concoct any reason you wish to have opened this up to federal examination. That's also why we thought your team would be best, considering the environment you're going into. Suffice it to say that this is a delicate theater of operation. There are a number of assets, both within Cogent and its parent companies, that we and the entire U.S. government would like to see preserved. Is that clear?
That's clear.
Still.
Martinez, you report directly to me on this. You know how to get a hold of me. Your room keys are on the table there for the hotel. It's pretty near the campus, so you should be able to set up a theater of operations there. Any questions for me?
So we're going in as an investigative team from the FBI.
Yes.
All right.
Clarify.
But you know about the Derek Rutherford shooting. Apparently, Mr. Ajay is concerned about repercussions from his employer for reporting the others as related incidents. That is up to you, whether you sell him out or not.
Yeah. So do you have any background information on the company? Does Cogent? You said Cogent has assets that we want to protect. Are they on record as?
Do any of you have like accounting or business? You might know that already.
Defense contractor, somebody that has federal government ties.
I mean, I've got accounting and bureaucracy.
Accounting 70.
Yeah, as accounting, Cogent Engineering is a multinational software engineering firm that survived the Ots Buttle, barely surviving long. Did a couple of algorithm and compression things that made the IP on that got them limping into the 2000s, and have since sold their soul to Facebook entirely. They are in Korea, they are in India, they are in sub-Saharan Africa, they are everywhere. They have massive employers. They are the single largest employer within that single district of Phoenix at that point. Outside of Phoenix, their campus is one of the largest in the world. It has over 10,000 people in it at any given time.
to
Doing
go
Facebook.
in as FBI agents. It might not be that hard to just float in.
Yeah.
Question.
Mhm.
Rutherford, Desmond, and Kim all died.
Yes.
Hot man? But we don't know what of.
We do not.
Ashley Bray attacked her boss and was shot. Was that a fatal shooting?
Yes, it occurred outside of the Corpus campus,
So we got 5
according to
bodies.
police reports.
Did the police shoot her?
Shot by a fellow member of Filigree Private Security Services.
Ooh.
Filigree is they do the security for Cogent?
Yes.
Okay.
She was reported as employed by them as of 6 months ago.
Okay.
Well, that could be another route in, is we investigate filigree, because when one of your employees shoots another with, like, guns that they are issued by their employer, I'm thinking an outside review is the kind of thing they would be willing to do just about anything to make go away. Is there any kind of pretext for a federal investigation of, oh, well, you're claiming she attacked her boss, but there seems to be some evidence that you may have murdered her to cover up, to prevent a sexual harassment suit, or to cover up, any other kind of bad dealing that Filigree might be in. Do I know anything about Filigree?
Nope. They don't seem to have a big area. They're actually a pretty local Phoenix operation. They're not the Pinkertons with your accounting of 70. They seem pretty local. What you do know is that Hoffman was claimed to be found dead in his car. There is no sign of foul play, though, according to the investigation. And Cogent has not said anything. The ME hasn't answered yet. But they have also acknowledged that many people have died in or around the campus in the last week. Just the only thing that's been reported is the initial Rutherford shooting. Everything else is a disconnected but unfortunate accident. So you have any number of reasons to be fishing around there. In fact, it's very likely they expect people to be fishing around there, considering the size of the Facebook contract owned by Cogent. So yeah, there's basically any excuse you want, you can probably fool somebody with it. But it is 10,000 people at once. So what you do know is Topher Ajay is a middle manager on one of the moderator floors, specifically the one where the shooting actually happened. So that is a friendly who could give you more insider information. So if you could and he can get you in the building. From there, you could decide who you want to explain to other people who you are. Yeah. But he is on your side because he reported it to the organization.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll need contact information for him. And
yeah, he's been told you're coming.
Yeah. So what else do you know? This is a large company that's in the belly of a larger company. How well do they get along with the local politicians? Should we expect static when they feel like complaining to the local FBI office?
There's not much a difference between them and the local politicians.
Well, it's nice to see them.
Unless they want a significant portion of the middle class tax bracket to disappear overnight and go overseas.
Do you have
they will do whatever they want to keep it.
Do we have anybody in Phoenix FBI who can give us any kind of a cover? Who can say
we can get warrants for pretty much anything you want. Rutherford has a military background. Anything on that line, we can make a warrant, say that we're investigating whether it was an act of stochastic terrorism or just doing our due diligence. I can get you a warrant for whatever you need, but you need to be careful throwing your weight around in there.
Right.
There's a chance for blue. There's a chance for other foreign interests. Plus, I don't know if it's related to our mission purview yet, which is, of course, the first threat.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll get the team together at the hotel and take it from there.
Okay. You guys heading straight there?
Actually, I want to. I'm sure Levi and I can work together. I think it would probably be handy if I could make some lanyards so that we could put, in case of necessary, any one of us could put one on and pass as an employee, and sort of coach Mace a little on how to dress appropriately for the corporate office environment. And Martinez is going to read as a cop no matter what.
Traditional Cogent light gray polo shirt with the little red logo on it. Yeah.
Oh, you have an appointment with Ajay. It's venture capitalists. So if you want to go in there and ask him to do that, he has an excuse to show you around. On this Monday. Yeah.
Okay, but I want to get some if we can get him. I want to get the forged lanyards as quickly as possible. I guess also just would I already have if I can get physical access computer, would I have a USB drive or something I can plug in to gain access to it? To put in some malware.
You want to.
Yeah.
Well, that would be that'd be rolling
computer science,
some sort of hacker tool computer science. SIG.
I'd be glad to collab on that for sure.
When do I get to roll art document forger?
Well, that would be for the lanyards, I guess. Or
is this comp or microelectronics or what?
Microelectronics. If you want a magic hack key, Well,
I'll write the software. Yeah.
Critical success on microelectronics.
You have a magic hack key.
Ooh. Yeah, 11 under 50.
So I assume this is after we've kind of set up an impromptu couple of labs in the hotel rooms.
Before
your motel fucking sucks. You didn't think they made them anymore. The stop sign is melting as you turn into the parking lot of its one level facing the open barren desert. It looks like a horror movie should be set here.
That's fine. We don't need it to be nice. We just need space for them to set up their labs.
How are we fixed for vehicles?
You were given 2 rentals.
Okay.
You can be whatever you could find at a Hertz. Yeah.
All right. Hopefully a inconspicuous Toyota Corolla where it won't look weird when I put duct tape over the rental ID badges.
Yep.
While you guys are doing computer shit, I'm going to drive around and try and get a lay of the land and see the Cogent campus, try and find places where there are camera dead spots in the traffic surveillance. Maybe look for an abandoned strip mall or a closed down Toys R Us or something like that.
I'll go with
Mace. What skill you want to use for that?
What would that be, sir?
We're trying out
18.
It is a gigantic. It appears to have been functioned around a sort of a central courtyard that is not really so much a courtyard as a sort of a central cooling tower because it is fucking Arizona. Those are the largest air conditioning units you've ever seen in your life on that roof. Otherwise, it is a brutalist nightmare of glass that at the wrong side of the building will literally blind you from the sun. When you can see the interior, it appears to be entirely boxed. So not unlike a Pentagon, there is an exterior sort of office space where you imagine management is at. There are hallways. But if you are sticking around long enough, you see people before they're going into interiors being wanded. You see them giving up phones. What you imagine, considering this place is for, it is not so much to keep exterior intruders out, but to keep employees in, considering what they do all day is look at nightmares and decide whether it is nightmarish enough to get rid of or nightmarish good for Facebook. And they are basically keeping people from talking about that. So they have to turn their phones in. Appears to be pretty heavy security. You're also not sure why these people are back in the office at all during COVID. But there are fleets of cars in the burning metal wave of the asphalt parking lot under the Phoenix sun. It is just a very harsh to look at area. One is either constantly squinting, sweating, or just off put by jarring 90-degree angular corporate hollow space. Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't gotten into the interior yet, but that is the basic setup of the campus.
Yeah. No, what I want to know is what's around the campus. Is there a bar?
Around the campus, you do actually see a number of security vehicles next to a double-wide trailer placed on the exterior of the eastern parking lot. There is a sort of temporary sign up that reads Filigree Private Security Services. So this appears to be their office. Otherwise, there is a lot full of RVs. It appears to be some sort of seasonal work for Cogent is allowed there. But there is not much in terms of space. It's off a highway on the southern end of Phoenix. It is burningly hot and vacant. It is just a big air-conditioned box you go in to do internet work and then leave.
Okay, so there's...
What about neighbors and strip malls as we're driving around?
Oh, there's not much out here. It is
not even like a storage facility.
Yeah, it's outside of the suburbs. Oh, yeah, about a mile or two away, but like not very close to the place. It is.
I'm just looking for a backup headquarters.
Oh, okay. Well,
somewhere.
Get an RV. They have a whole lot full of people that just park there seasonally. You could park in the parking lot.
Just gotta leave it plugged in or running, I guess. Jesus. Otherwise,
I mean, if you want a surveillance van, get a recreational vehicle. Like, you could literally just post up out there.
Just idle it 24/7 to keep the AC running.
Phoenix. Yeah, I'll as we're debating that, as we're batting that back and forth, I'll tell Mace. I think that's probably the way to go then.
Yeah, I'm thinking the way to get into that filigree double-wide trailer is to sabotage the air conditioning and then send someone in with a clipboard and a jumpsuit saying, "Hey, dog, you want me to fix that air conditioning? Because it's either today or 8 working days from now."
Well, we don't even know if we need to do that yet. We should talk to the insider first, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and
our first job right now is to see what we're looking at outside.
Sure.
Done.
Just brainstorming, boss. No bad ideas in brainstorming.
Yeah.
Caleb, did you get my private message?
Ooh, there's a private message.
Uh-oh.
As he's reading that, as we're driving around, why don't you tell people what does Mace look like and what's he like to be on a long drive with?
He's probably in his middle 30s. He's got that dad bod thing, thinning brown hair, but he's got these twinkly hazel eyes and dimples when he smiles, and he's charming and overflowing with jokes and anecdotes and a great active listener.
Nice.
Yeah, so Mike is about the same age, middle late 30s, but kind of lean and athletic, and has dark hair, and he kind of comes across as more relaxed and easygoing than he really is when the front has to shut down.
All right. So you are you going to the campus to see him?
Yeah, I mean, let's regroup at the hotel first, and so we can
You can
kind
also
of
call
compare.
them to come out. You have,
Yeah, well, either way, I want to regroup with the team, just the team at the hotel for a few minutes.
Well, why don't
Kinda
we have
take stock
them off?
of what our assets are, and
Mhm.
just have a brief meeting to make sure we're all on the same page as for what we're doing here and what the risks are, and how to not, yeah. I want to get the team in and say, okay, we've had a scope of the area. You've had time to work on some tools. So before we go any further, first of all, out of character, why don't we get the same things like descriptions, impressions of like Cassidy.
Yeah. How do you show up to the briefing around the algae-filled pool of this terrible hotel? Yes.
Well, Cassidy is in a t-shirt and shorts because it's Phoenix in the summer, wearing sunglasses, and is nervously vaping. A blonde woman, 30s, nervous. You can see some light burn tissue scars on her arms. That is mostly healed, and just kind of especially nervous and on like on edge right here. A bit too sweaty for her liking.
Levi,
Definitely.
what about you?
Levi is about 6 foot, 31 years old, curly brown hair. He's trim and kind of severe. He has the bearing of a former skinny kid who's recently discovered weights and a fear of death. He's wearing a tank top and shorts, like gym clothes, because he's sure as fuck not wearing the computer nerd clothes out here in the heat. And you can see on his right shoulder the 1 out of 5 bullet wound scars that are visible at this state of dress. The aim was not that bad, actually. He looks pretty humorless and hyper vigilant, like a child of the state often does, especially after everything he was worried about when he was a kid came true.
But yeah, also all our photos are from this person does not exist .com. So
because they don't
paid because
not an endorsement, but
all right. So I want to kind of gather everybody around the shitty pool and one of the shitty, like the one poolside table where the umbrella is still intact, just barely. And
yeah. I mean, that's really it's a ship of Theseus kind of thing. I mean,
was there an
whole
opportunity?
Parts and there's not whole parts. Yeah,
right.
Was there an opportunity to grab a 6-pack at any point?
Sure. Yeah, that's the one thing they sell in the lobby, other than the keys to the hotel. I hope you like Stag, because that's what they have.
God.
Yeah.
Ice cold Stag.
Well, mini fridge cold Stag. Let's not
mini fridge.
Let's not get out of hand.
He would say ice cold Stag.
You gotta sell it,
because when you tell people beer is cold, they are more likely to believe it's cold.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you've all been linguistically primed to enjoy this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as we've as people are kind of making jokes like that around the table and being nervous and making nervous jokes. After a few minutes, I'll kind of put the can down and say, okay, so let's get on the same page here. This may turn out to be not anything. We're here to get intelligence first. If there's nothing going on that our group needs to deal with, then we all go back to our lives. No harm, no foul.
Sweet. And you stop sending me those pictures, right?
Till the next time. And if it turns out there is something, well, then shit gets ugly. I'm assuming
this at least ought to help us know if something's going on. I will hold up the evil USB stick that Cassidy and I have been working on all day.
Good.
What's on there?
the works. Pretty much everything that Cassidy and I have got are going to interface with this if we can get it in somewhere physically at the location.
Yeah,
I'm not.
It's a key log virtual machine nightmare. It's not elegant even at 11 because if it's the works, it is. I want in.
Yeah.
But depending on what you do while you're in there, they might not notice. But you will. It will be the weird hacked thing that someone made. It's not going to lead back to your home machine, but like they will notice in it. They are a software company, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's this file? Submit and kneel exe.
Yeah, it's the
if we need
the
intelligence,
little hacker thing from Jurassic Park. It's Nedry. Yeah.
we use that to get access, and then Levi and I can just sit here and sift through the data. You want intelligence? That's the data, and we can just figure out what they were doing.
Yeah, user count alone.
That's
if
going to
you're
be
not going for admin privileges, you can get a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be our first step. Our first stop is to meet with our friendly inside, plant your device, and do what it needs to do. So, ground rules on this operation: we're going to assume that it's the real thing until it's not. That means if you see a hint of anything hinky, you don't go towards it, you don't touch it, you don't sniff it, you talk to somebody else on our team first. Right?
I like these rules.
You all know the buddy system? Yeah? We're using the buddy system here. That means you go out messing around with something, one of us is with you. If we have to split up, there's only one of us can be somewhere at a time, we'll do it for the minimum amount of time that we can. Got to be able to back each other up.
Who's my buddy?
Doesn't matter. I'm not saying we fix that. I'm saying if you've got to go off somewhere, you tell us. And whoever's available goes with you.
All right.
Our goal here is to figure out what this threat is and put an end to it and then go home again. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, keep it careful, keep it boring, keep it safe. If you get an urge to do something that looks exciting, don't do it. Come talk to somebody first. Somebody else on our team. We all good?
Mm-hmm.
You've all been solid. You're all good. I saw you at work, every one of you. And that's why you're here. Because as much of a pain in the ass as this is, it is much as somebody like me has to tell you how dangerous it is, you're here because you can hack it. So just keep it cool, and let's get to work.
You know, Cassidy, respectfully, I'd kind of hope not to see you again so soon. Us going into an office building with bodies dropping, God's got a fucked up sense of humor.
Who says God has anything to do with it?
It's Delta Green HR. Yeah. It's like God, but worse.
What was the worst thing that ever happened to you? Great. Now we know what you're competent to deal with.
It's the Peter principle, but for personal hell.
All right. When you arrive, you'll have to go through the front entrance. But as you get there, it's just as easy as asking for Mr. Ajay, and a young man, looks to be late 20s, t-shirt, khakis, tech broed out of mixed Indian and U.S. heritage, comes down, shakes your hand. He's like, "Oh, it's so great to see you guys. You're gonna love it here. Come on through." He's like, "Have you seen the strip clubs yet?" And he's just rattling off. Do you know if you have Human?
I do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Human 80.
Yeah. So you don't even need to roll. You know that you know you're supposed to be venture investors, and he knows you're supposed to be venture investors, and he's given this spiel before. So this is kind of like tech bro autopilot. None of you look like tech bro. Like, hey, there's a woman amongst you. They don't look about tech bro. Like, he's asking you about the. It's just it's bad. It's bad OPSEC for Mace. He's not psyched about like this guy being like, hey, we should hang out and go to all the strip clubs and hey, do all this kind of tech bro bullshit. And he's just not matching it to the FBI obvious cop, the woman with a soul, like the people who would not be hearing this pitch.
So let me give a mild objection here. The FBI obvious cop has spent 10 years doing undercover work.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
So
You're
he
trying to drag along the whole crew.
Right.
Well,
and I figured we're coming to this. I think I would want to come to this looking sort of the part. So some kind of a light colored.
Nobody knows.
Suit,
with your human role, you realize that Ajay is not good at this. He doesn't have to be because they're used to having cops in and out of this building constantly because people have been dying all week. And other people that aren't cops is also fine because it's a base business. But you realize Ajay is really out of his
I want to figure we're in sort of business. I don't know what the term is. It's not business casual, but it's sort of business light. Where you don't have the time on.
And I mean, Mace's modus operandi is to fit in and be whoever he's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. If I can see that AJ is overselling it, I might just put a hand on his shoulder and just gently be like, okay, cool it, man. We're here for the business.
Cool.
Persuade?
Yeah, roll it.
Okay. A fail. Damn. And I'm good at that. He's really jerked up.
So it gets a little bit worse and you start to get a little nervous when you're at the elevator banks and he goes, no, not that one. And holds you back from getting into one. But then a different elevator opens like, hey, come on up. This is the one in my office. This is great. And he leads you into an office, an elevator with a bunch of plywood on the exterior glass that goes up the side of the building.
I guess as we're going in, I want to make I'll let them do the talking, those two, but I'll be sort of looking around through my sunglasses appraisingly as if I were somebody looking to invest a lot of money in this thing.
It's mainly pretty manicured. You're not on a floor yet because again, it's in that sort of exterior. But when he gets you on the elevator, this elevator has had the glass in it removed and plywooded up, even though it's supposed to be one of those fancy "look how you go up" elevators. Okay. With the exterior, as you're in there, Ajay says, "Yeah, there was an accident on Saturday here, and people were loading something in, and it was an accident, but we're gonna get it fixed real soon." You don't need a human roll to see that his fingers are literally crossed as he says that in the elevator. And then he opens it up. He scans a card walking across to the wood paneled wall in the next hallway. And you just see a massive sea of cubicles, just a vista of corporate samitude open up before you as you just see hundreds of people with headphones on, staring into monitors and just clicking.
Are they allowed to personalize their cubicles? Sports team memorabilia, family photos.
With your human, you realize yes to a specific laid out, nigh ruler checked degree of numbers of things you are allowed to be personalized with. Oh look, everyone loves exactly 3 trolls on their desk. No, they probably don't. It's probably more or less than 3 trolls or pictures, but it's a pretty easy count. And there's sort of
an entire allotment for this Gundam.
Yeah. So as you enter, he walks you through. He's like, "There's our play." He's giving you just moderation numbers. Just do the tech people want to roll any skills on Ajay's pitch?
Sure.
Computer science.
Yeah.
Would that work, or would it be
yeah,
accounting?
Computer science or SIGINT, whatever you want.
I made
Either
SIGINT.
one. Okay.
Computer science is better. Still not very good. And it's a fail.
He's basically taking the MSI quotient of Facebook and just pitching it as a general content manager. MSI is the quotient of engagement you get from a post. So it appears that he is pitching this Facebook moderation farm under like, man, we moderate so much. No one quits using the program. It's like basically, I am the head of banning people. We're so good at banning people, we don't ban people. Like that is the pitch of Cogent Engineering. Like
we've got this problem so locked down, we never have to punish anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Normal success on computer science, if that gets anything else.
He's giving you this pitch. And with your normal check on computer science, as you're looking around, these PCs are pretty well sewn up. You're not installing other programs. There are IT professionals located throughout the cubicle farm. So it appears that if you have to do any kind of moderation to it, you have to call someone from a sort of sub-overseer position.
There's no way
they in turn have to be authorized by one of the cubicles on the outside. So if you're plugging into one of these, the most you're probably going to get is one of these user accounts. You're probably going to want a higher level, like maybe Ajay himself, if you want to plug in a poison pill. I own this thing now.
Are there any offices that are like, as we were going in, I was looking around to see if there are any machines that looked like they were unattended.
Oh yes, it will not be hard to get in someplace without someone. There's lots of gaps in the floor. It doesn't appear they're operating nearly at capacity they were.
Which one looked like it was the most important or had the most valuable access?
It's probably going to be one of the exterior offices, and Ajay's letting you into his. So
okay, but like one that's not his. Is there one that is not his? There
are offices that are dark. Yeah.
Okay, so we can go in one. Okay.
Any chance that I can see a lanyard or some kind of security thing that someone has left hanging off, attached to their coat, sticking out of their coat pocket?
Yeah. If you want to lift it, you can try and roll it.
Okay, that would be what, stealth?
Or criminality. Yeah.
That. Criminology? No,
not criminology. Criminality.
I got
criminology for red markets.
Oh no, sorry.
I will.
I run red markets earlier. I'm trying to shift.
I will give Mike a very discreet nudge and look at the lanyard and look at him and raise an eyebrow.
Yeah, I'll give him a nod as we're walking.
Son of a bitch, 87.
Oh.
Well, it's not fumble. So someone's like, "Hey, man, what are you doing?"
Oh, I'm wondering where, and I will look at the label of the jacket and say, "Is this a good jacket?" Because I gotta get something that can deal with the heat out here without getting completely pitted out. And I've heard good things about these, but
would you just fuck off and get back to your cube, dude?
Hey, what crawled up your ass and died? You looking too much
I'm gonna
for today?
I'm gonna walk in between, and being the I'm the business guy here who sort of smooths things over for the hotheads that work for me, and and tell them and tell the worker, hey, my name's Jim. We're coming in with a VC meeting, so we didn't mean to get up all in your shit. We were just curious what it's like to work here. What the business is like. They take care of you?
God damn it!
Hey, it ain't a good time. It's not a good time. It's you know what? Never mind, buddy. Forget it.
Topher comes over. He gets a tiny little scanner out of his pocket, and he scans the cubicle and looks down. Kyle, that is inappropriate behavior, and you need to apologize to these gentlemen immediately. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry, Mr.
There's no need for that. We got in his business. Don't worry about it there.
Yeah, I didn't mean to
Topher.
cry. Don't get him in trouble.
So, Kyle, you go back to work. You know what? Take it easy. Sorry to
you can roll human there, Mace.
With my very hot dice. That is a success.
All right, it was a
75.
It wasn't your best lift, all right? You're not going to be on Ocean's 11 anytime soon. You're willing to admit that. The coat thing was good. The coat thing should have played. That guy was like an asshole, but like unreasonably so. You also kind of read that like Ajay didn't think it was that uncommon.
For him to be calling somebody
for people to act
asshole.
like that.
Right.
But he gets you all in the office. It's like I can get you cards. Just
Okay.
No. Anyway, hold on. He goes over. You see him unplug his computer. He opens up a microwave on top of a fridge and puts his phone in it, and gestures for you to do the same.
Hell yeah.
Sure. Yeah, 100%.
I'll do that, but I'll interfere with him if he tries to turn it on.
No, he's not. He just wants a Faraday cage around it.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much we hear. I'm here to do anything you need. I was here Thursday. It happened on the other side. I got everything. I got everything you might need. So he starts shuffling around his desk. He's like, here's files on Rutherford, and I got the footage on a flash drive. I got that before they wiped the servers after they gave it to the local. So I don't think you have to go to them for that. And then, oh shit. Okay.
Topher, I'm sorry to interrupt you, buddy, but listen to me. Take a breath. Right? Let it out slow. Okay?
Yeah.
You're okay. So, slow down, and, anybody looking in here, they don't need to see you having a panic attack, right? They need to see us having a back and forth, casual.
Yeah.
So just,
yeah.
You're all right. So
okay,
tell us,
what do I need to do?
Tell us what's
in that.
Why don't you tell us
spirit,
what's going on?
Tell
us where you started and what's got you so afraid and irritated. And then my colleagues here will have some questions of their own, I expect.
I will stand by the window in a way that looks casual, but that slightly, to what extent I can achieve it, obscures people looking in.
Oh yeah, he's a boss. His drapes are down.
Okay.
He's been at least that paranoid, but yeah. Okay, so about the shooting. That's everything I have on it. That's everything the cops have. I don't have anything else about that. That seems like it scans. Casey's always been something else, a real piece of work, and that the manager floor relationship has never worked. It's against Cogent policy, and
Casey is
Derek's wife. We have reason to believe that there was a relationship between the two. Casey told us as much.
between Derek and Muriel.
She had something.
Between Casey and Young Soo Jim, the manager that was first to be shot. Muriel was Mr. Gim's secretary, and then Derek shot himself.
Okay.
But I was here Saturday with the innovation team, and that's when I called you. That's different. That's something else. It's like those guys with the hoods. This isn't them again, right? Not the guys with the hood. There was nothing under those hoods. I sent that to you, and you said I was right to.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is just we don't have any reason to think that's the same.
But nobody's jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, tell us about. We're here to get information. Tell us about Saturday. This may be nothing to it, but
Well,
tell us where what's
we
happening.
have a volunteer innovation team that practices new moderation best practices on the weekends in the instance of a management training program for our reverse internship. He's basically just saying we make people work extra hours on the weekend if they want to ever pretend to be promoted, and then we don't do it.
Reverse internship.
Well, yeah, you have to pay for the on-job training, of course, and it's not free. You're getting a field in tech. So
as Mace is grasping how this works, he just like.
Why didn't I think of this? If only this had occurred to me 10 years ago.
It's like a chicken that slits its own throat and jumps in the frying pan.
So
sad.
Yeah. If it's not that, I heard the shot, and it didn't happen like they said it did, and it happened on this floor again.
Start from the beginning.
Wait, was this the
right?
Ashley,
You heard it.
shooting?
You heard a shot.
Yeah, Saturday.
What?
It didn't happen out on the lawn. It didn't happen out by the trailers. It's not like they said it did.
All right, where did it happen?
It in the elevator. I told you.
Oh, with the plywood.
I don't know what happened. I can't get the footage. They're on top of it. Somebody from corporate's here.
All right. Let me.
You can't let them know I told you this.
God, no.
No, of course
Let me
not.
mirror this back to you, my man. All right. So, Derek Rutherford finds out his wife is sleeping with his boss.
Well, look.
Youngster Jim.
He just turns it around and hits play. Everyone roll sand.
Right.
Yay!
Yay, I make it.
All right. Nope.
Success!
I looked at that.
Change it.
9 upside down. That's a failure.
Yeah.
Changing dice was smart.
Okay. It is going to be 1 on violence. If you fail,
right.
that you lost, you're fine. Otherwise, it's at least black and white. It's high resolution, but there's at least no sound. So the footage opens when you see this long shot over the cubicle farm that you just walked past. You see a man stalking down the aisles. He is in cargo pants. He is rather portly. He appears to be putting his hands in his hoodie pockets. He goes out of the frame. The video cuts to the office of Youngsoo Kim, who stands up as the door is opened without knocking, and is then shot 7 times behind his desk. At that point, people begin running out of the office. Mr. Rutherford comes out and holds a gun to Muriel Desmond's head and begins screaming at her for a number of minutes. At this point, Ajay says, we talked to people who got out, and he said that he was asking her to call his wife. He wanted her to call his wife, but I don't know what happened. It's pretty clear what happened. He just can't imagine that level of courage. Muriel Desmond tells him to go fuck off. Derek Rutherford shoots her in the head. Derek Rutherford sees what he's done and then shoots himself in the head and is dead midday Thursday.
Oh, that brings me back.
I'll sort of stand up quickly from that and, walk over to the window and kind of stare outside and do a breathing exercise.
So he's got a gun to her head, and she back chats him.
It looks that way. It looks like she refuses to make the call. When she does that, he does what he threatened to do. That appears to break his nerve, and then he tops himself.
But there was no audio on this recording, right?
No. They had reports of that from people on the staff saying he was telling her to call Casey.
Any of you guys know a lip reader?
You could get that. You have the footage. Ajay goes on to say, so I was here Saturday. I heard the shot. The floor was half. We were on the other wing, but I went in. By the time I got to the elevators, they had it shut down. There was nobody there. They said there was an accident. And then I read about it in the paper, and I knew it was wrong because later that night they got all management, and it was fucking weird. They took us up to the roof, and we had to search the whole fucking building, and that's when I found Wes.
Whoa. So
Wes was on the roof.
you only heard Muriel get shot, but you didn't hear young.
No, that was Thursday. I'm talking about Saturday. There was another shot on the floor. It didn't happen out there like they said it did.
Saturday was
somebody
Ashley
else.
Bree. Was that Saturday was Ashley Bree?
Yeah. But then they had to search the whole building with those filigree guys, and we got to the boiler, and then we found Wes. He'd been there since fucking Monday.
Wes, what did he? You actually saw him?
Yeah.
What did he
hung himself?
He'd hung himself. I see. Okay.
Shit, man, that's heavy.
What happened to his body?
It's probably at the morgue. I think.
We reported it as dead of suspicious causes. The management took over. You see, there's somebody from corporate here. They're gonna sew this up. We can't have this kind of shit. There's that Vice documentary just came out. We can't take the PR. They're not gonna take that.
Who's the person from corporate?
Listen, Topher. Listen to me. You called our people, right? Because you can tell there's problems here. We came in that. That's us. Okay. Corporate policies, all of that stuff that you're worrying about, I don't give a fuck. I'm here for the bodies, right? The dead, and to see if there's anything bad going on that we can fix to save lives. So try to keep it focused for us so we can do what we have to do.
Okay.
And when you go home, you can know you helped save lives. Put all this other shit in perspective. So, Cassie, go ahead and you had questions.
What do you know the name of this corporate person?
No, you'll never know their name.
Okay.
They don't tell you they're coming. They don't tell you who's working for them.
Okay.
How do you recognize them?
You're cleared for it?
What do you mean? I'm confused here.
There's union talk going on out on the floor.
Yeah, they're gonna shut that shit down real quick. Okay.
All right. So who came for the bodies each time? You got a lot of dead people here, right?
Sheriff.
So, county took them away.
Yeah.
All right.
But by the time I got to the elevators, there was nobody there except one of those filigree guys, and he said that there was an accident. But I didn't see anything. But then on the news that night, they report the thing. And even before that, I found West down. Like, what are the chances? You know?
Yeah.
Also, like, the vibe's wrong. You know when the vibe's wrong? You guys ever feel that?
Wrong. I do.
Yes.
Now, okay, so what broke the window on the elevator was Ashley Bray.
I think
when she shot her boss,
or she was shot by a guard. Is what?
Yeah, no one died except this Bray one. I don't know. She didn't work on my floor, so.
Hey, hold on a second. I thought so. Bray died here on the property.
Yeah, on Saturday.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the second shooting event.
Yeah.
She wasn't outside the fence. She wasn't going after that dinky fucking double wide. Why would you?
Yeah.
But I don't know why she can't hear either.
You heard shot. How many shots did you hear Saturday?
One.
Just one.
Yeah.
And that sounded like it was over by the elevator. You ran over there, and they had already taken care of it. Was there blood?
I didn't see anything. It was over on the other side. So it's a giant U shape, basically cubicle hole.
Yeah.
His innovation team was working around him where he could harangue them to moderate faster. But on the other side of the U where the elevators were, he heard a shot. He went over and investigated. They said there was an accident and told everybody to calm down. They came down over the PA.
Yeah. So you looked at the elevator right after the shot.
Yeah, it was closed.
So you didn't see inside the elevator?
No.
All right.
Just a bunch of filigree guys hanging out.
We need to find out what her boss's name that
Yeah, tell us
For the
more
ones
about
that
her.
she attacked.
Well, no, they're filigree. He's not going to know anything about her boss.
No,
Do
I
you,
mean,
you know
we
anything?
need
You know any? Topher, you know anything about Ashley's boss? Who shot her? You know who she went after? Anything like that?
No, it said on the papers that she worked for those guys, and we only had a few of them. They were parking lot before Thursday.
You mean they were just in the parking lot?
They didn't come inside.
Building security is Cogent. The filigree guys were our parking lot attendants. They made sure they were always hassling me about my septic line. They were just like, it was the worst. And
So how would Ashley Bray for security get inside and come to the elevator?
the market's crazy, man. It's really overheated. And with the salary I make here, like if I work here like 2-3 more years, I'll be able to save up for like 6 months of an apartment in San Francisco, and then I can get my startup off the ground.
Okay, yeah. That's great.
So you
how
would
Ashley Bray have been in here and gotten on the elevator?
I don't know. I didn't know she worked here.
Yeah. But you never saw filigree inside the building for that
until Thursday. And yeah.
No, never before that. But there was more security. There was a shooting. We missed a whole day of work on Friday. Yeah, they had to get.
Okay.
All right.
So let me. We've got. He gave us a big pile of papers. Is that right? What else did he? What else has he already provided?
He gives you a big pile of papers. He gives you the employment records of Wes Hoffman and
Is that Hoffman like the German spelling?
Yes.
UPT.
He was apparently janitorial services. He can also show you down to the broiler room where he was found. And he, according to Counter Cornea reports, he was reported found dead in his car of natural causes. Yeah, he was. So he's already contradicted that story. He doesn't know who Bray is, but he gives you Rutherford's everything. He also gives you Rutherford's username and password.
Hello.
Rutherford was on the team on his floor. Yeah.
So what did Rutherford do? Was he one of those, chair moisteners looking over the bad stuff?
He and Casey came up in the moderator team. Casey really proved herself on the innovation team.
So they were spouses and coworkers.
Yes, that is unfortunately pretty common amongst the field.
And then she started working under young Sue Jim directly.
Co-worker. They were both managers on the floor, different shifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was she? Wait,
but that happened like a year or two ago.
So it was old news. But maybe he just found out about it, or did he know about it before?
I don't know. I pulled his. They took his computer.
Okay.
I archived it Saturday.
Nice.
Can you get
Rutherford? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think
presume that's in here.
Yeah. If you have a laptop, he gives you. You can just plug in and start looking.
I will. I obviously would have a laptop, and so I will do that.
So, Topher, can you
get all the data?
Can you get hold of a company laptop, something that we can take a look at, that we can use? It's already set up to work on the network here. If you have the right credentials.
Yeah, I can do something like that.
Maybe something a cut above the front line. They looked pretty locked down.
Hey, here's a question. Casey was a manager, right? Did she have a manager?
Yeah, she's not in right now.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking
she went home.
That would be a place we could go.
Mm-hmm.
But
I can't. That's still part. See, there are parts that we're not allowed to go into unless you're law enforcement, and then you're gonna have to do something to prove that you're not with me. I really don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, no, we're not.
I violated my NDA so hard,
and we appreciate that. We're not gonna do anything to put you in the crosshairs, man. Because we respect you coming to us and doing the right thing, but B, also because you're the goose who lays the golden eggs. So, we are both selfishly and selflessly motivated to protect you. like
all of you can roll alertness.
I got a crit. Jeez, I got an 11.
Oh,
No.
one.
Cassidy is very on edge.
You hear a clatter and a crash down the hallway.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Not Mace. He's
hypervigilant.
schmoozy.
How searched were we coming in this place?
Not very, because you're venture capitalists. So at all.
Right.
Right. You get to do what you want. You have money. It's the filthy peons that have to give up all of their electronic devices. Yeah.
I, of course, just sort of take cover instinctively and tell the others, did you hear that? It's down the hall.
Hear what? What?
Something.
You hear muffled, sounds like an argument down the hall.
Yeah, I assume Martinez can sort of see that Levi's got the which of my hidden weapons am I going to like get out, or am I going to get them out? Kind of a bearing. Like,
yeah, I'm playing catch up because I didn't hear that or put it together as a threat. I think I was still a little. Once the talk had moved on, I started getting distracted.
Yeah, you hear somebody yell, "Security! Security!" You hear a woman yelling and running down the hallway outside.
All right.
I'm looking for the fire exit, like the stairs down. Like, where are they?
If you look out of the hallway, you can see the fire exit. You can see a number of moderators streaming towards it. It appears they are a little nervous for some reason.
Can't imagine.
You see some guys in filigree uniforms sort of hustling from around the elevators and through one of the fire stairwells down towards what looks to be one of those exterior areas.
The filigree guys are running away from the commotion.
No, they're running towards it. Yeah, there's two of them. Yeah,
but it's filigree guys now, not their Cogent in-house security that are.
No, that appears to be.
Do the filigree guys have badges or lanyards or any shit?
Yeah, how are they?
Oh, they have the best dollar store rental cop badges that money can buy. Pure. Faux tin. Yeah.
Do they have guns?
They do have guns. Yeah.
Yeah, the guns are real.
The guns are real.
Yeah.
Pistols or something bigger?
I'm trying to decide if I want to try and bump steal one of those badges, but no, I am gonna do better part of valor. And does our man Topher have a private bathroom?
No, he's not that.
Shit.
He's not that big. He is overseer class, not owner class.
Right.
He is in charge of whipping the people to watch the terrible things.
Closet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out. I'm reacting after the people who made their checks, but I want to, having been alerted to it, I want to head out sort of, I don't know, in a direction that I could claim I was looking for the exit, but mainly I'm interested in what the fuck is going on over there and what are they doing with it.
I'm gonna try and hack to get at, or ask Topher for access. Does he have he must have access to security cameras. Is there any way I can look at them now?
No, they changed all the passwords.
Okay, I'm gonna hack
for Saturday.
I'm going to try and figure that out.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna look at. I'm like, I'll stay with her.
Okay.
All right. So I'm trying to get access to security cameras through one of the computers in this office, either mine or the one he provides or whatever.
Levi, you could still look at the frozen machine state of Rutherford's if you want to.
Well, are you gonna? Okay.
If you're both computing, yeah.
Yeah, we said buddy system though, so like if Martinez,
it's nobody going with Mike.
Okay.
I'm
all right. So Martinez and Levi are going. All right.
Yeah.
Good memory there.
Yeah.
All right. You get down to the waiting room.
Wait! I hand one of them one of their cell phones before they go, so I can talk to them.
They have.
I'm gonna
shamefacedly, I accept that and say thanks real quick before rushing out.
I'm gonna see if I can help her out in any way.
Yeah.
I got a 62 out of 80 on computer science to hack into that shit.
Do you want a live feed?
Yes.
You just see the exterior hallway. You can't see what is inside. There doesn't be a camera view there. You see a filigree guy sort of doing the de-escalate cop hand talk, like, hey buddy, which is, look at this nice non-committal hand as my other hand goes towards the gun. And that's also what you see as you get close to what appears to be a break room, as you guys run toward the noise.
All right, I'm recording that, and I take a photo of it with my phone and send that to Levi. So he gets, if I don't know what view he has. So
how barricadable is this door?
Ajay is certainly appears to have rehearsed that. Actually, he's sort of near a bookcase that is strategically placed next to it.
I will help him.
Yeah.
I'm like, we doing this thing? We're doing this thing. Let's get this over the glass too.
You hear a voice that sounds kind of familiar, screaming out of the break room. I told you not to fucking cook that shit in here. God damn it. I gotta deal with this all fucking shit all fucking...
Someone cooked fish in the microwave.
Oh, no. Yeah, if the picture helps us triangulate it all, I'll show it to Martinez real quick as we're hustling.
All right.
As you look through the guys sort of grabbing him, you see the guy that you tried to steal the lanyard from. He is whipping a microwave around by the cord a dude hiding behind a table, and just being dragged to the ground by the filigree dudes. Just losing his shit.
He is gonna die like he lived, an asshole. I gotta respect the makeshift microwave.
So the PA comes, bing, boom, bing. Apology, employees. There has been a mental health crisis. It is under control right now. We urge you to go to our counselors. They're located down in conference room B through D on the first floor, if at any time. It basically ends with like a better health ad over the PA as you see people start dreadfully dredging back up the stairwell to go back to work. The filigree guys, if you guys don't interfere, are just dragging the dude away as he.
Yeah, no, I'm not interfering with them. I'm telling Levi.
I'm watching them on the security cameras. I'm trying to like follow to find out where they take them.
Yeah, I want to tell Levi, get over to Kyle's cubicle and let's fuck with it while you have a chance.
That's good.
Okay, that's good. All right. You
we'll
got your little hacker tool, right?
Yep, and this is going to be Kyle's fault.
All right, I will give you your crit success. You own Kyle now, at least until they disconnect his
time
user
offer.
privileges.
Yeah.
So you could see if you can use Kyle to get better access to a different account from there. But until they revoke his user privileges, which, as you can see from the CCTV footage, appears to be happening within the day, as counseling for Kyle appears to have been escorting him off the premises and throwing him towards his car. You've got some time so you can make that roll if you want to.
Get
I'll
Kyle.
I'll roll computer science. I'm
just grab everything.
Yeah, I want to lean in and say get everything and get Kyle's information too, so we can track him down and talk.
Oh yeah. Assuming we can.
So they're okay. So they're not like executing him or anything. They're just kicking him out.
Computer
I'm
science.
just gonna try and keep. I'm
Roll
gonna try and
save
cool.
in there, Levi.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna try and keep Topher.
This one I
cool.
make.
All right, lose one.
Okay.
I'm not going to describe it. Levi was on the animal cruelty beat.
Yep.
You mean Kyle?
Kyle was on the animal cruelty beat. He appears to have seen a interaction between puppies and various forms of cookware.
Yep.
You're not too surprised he had a bit of a triggering incident in the microwave. You could look at his other profile if you had psychotherapy or human.
I do have humans.
Yeah, roll human on it.
Success.
Roll sand again.
Oh boy. Use one information. I make it.
All right, you don't lose any of that time. Here's what you learn. It shouldn't have been that one.
Right.
And like it's not like It's not close. Like you're scrolling past, and this guy's job is just a carnival of horror, just an endless internet sewer pipe openly hosed into his eyes, day in, day out. That is not the worst thing he saw within the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, he sits the
not to
fire
mention within the
watchtower
last
on the
5
border
days
of hell.
or 5
Yeah.
years he's worked there. It seems like it's pretty obvious why it triggered him, but you're not sure why. Of all the things this broke, sometimes that's how mental health works, but it's kind of inconclusive.
Yeah.
There is a line from the Gregory Hines vehicle Out of Bounds, which is, it's like you're swimming in an ocean of shit and you're drowning and you've picked up one turd and said, this turd bothers me.
Yeah, pretty much. But you realize you could also, now you have a sort of a suss out of what the mod program works. You could probably see what Rutherford was looking at before he went nuts.
Yeah,
That's a good
gladly offer myself up to that one. Yeah.
With the frozen Mustine state and all that kind of stuff, you do see that Rutherford was dangerously flagged in the system for off-topic time, where he was looking at something other than Facebook moderation protocols. When you pull that up, you can see what appears to be an MP3 file.
Well, we're going to be grabbing that for sure.
So yeah,
Don't have time to listen to it at this moment because I'm doing,
I mean, it's 2 minutes long.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll listen to it elsewhere. But,
fair enough.
Well, you don't have headphones on, so like you don't want to just like blast whatever the fuck that is in the office.
Right? No, we're just getting it. We're just getting it and getting it.
We're not falling for that shit, Caleb.
So yeah, you see people sort of going back in there, filigree guys retaking their place. You can go back to Topher's office.
Okay.
Topher, how often does someone have a episode of that nature where they just, I mean, maybe not violent, but just snap?
for the privacy of our trusted employees who are really like our family, we try to keep that information in house because we don't want to violate their rights.
No. I'm not asking you to name a name of a person or an individual. I'm trying to do some population thinking here, Topher. I just want to know, like, once a year someone starts with the old screamy shouty. More often? Once a month?
Human-wise, you know that he is not allowed to think this way. He is not one of the people in the glorious exterior offices because he thinks of things like, how often do people go screaming out of this building? And it's also pretty clear he's not supposed to talk about that. He's really struggling with, you're getting like, it sounds like a corporate ad half the time for like a.
Well, I will back off and calm him down. Yeah. Any way I can make a human roll to like read between the lines, because when I was saying every year, every week, what made his eyelid go like this?
It's been going up continually since he's worked there, and they've never mentioned that. But that could just be the job. This week, it was enough for him to call the people he thinks work in. We lost Baz.
No, we
we
lost
Alistair. Alistair,
yeah.
no, Alistair's still there. Never mind. Screw you, Alistair. We don't need you.
I mean, you could just bring him back in.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back in.
There we go.
I apologize, Alistair. Anyway, you can tell it has gotten a lot worse, but it's been worse for so long, and they've become practiced at not talking about it being worse. This week has accelerated quite. It's kind of like global warming. Like, of course it's worse than last year, but this is more like, oh God, wildfire this week, which is why.
You don't have any vacation you could take or anything, do you?
I've got a little bit. I can take Well, I could take my mental health leave.
Look,
It's
don't
Let me-
worry about it. Don't worry about it, Topher. Just keep it business as usual. Don't draw any attention to yourself, right? And and don't sweat it, right? If there's something
you keep
going
your
on,
head down and do
Yeah.
your time.
While they're all talking or whatever, I'm going to be searching the network for Ashley Bree, and Hoffman, to see Wes Hoffman, the other two victims, to see just wherever their names come up and just pull any data I can about them.
Do you have accounting?
I do.
Roll accounting.
Yeah, 38 out of 50.
Well,
Ashley Bray was an employee for 2 months out of the year during 2021 of Filigree Security.
Okay.
But they have also done a late filing for her taxes,
Okay.
which was filed as recently as this Saturday. For her last year, her IRS was reported as Cogent Engineering, and her job was Content Moderator.
Was Cogent last?
What
year.
appears
Okay.
to have happened is Ashley Bray was also a former employee of the Moderator 4, but
Mhm.
when she died under mysterious circumstances outside the Cogent Engineering campus, aka in the elevator going towards her office, they appear to have said that, oh, well, it's completely unrelated. She was a former employee of Filigree.
I see. So
She worked here.
okay,
She never worked for Filigree for real.
that was the cover.
No. She worked from Filigree from January and part of February of this year with a late tax filing done this weekend. That's where her report as the previous year she worked and reported income from Cogent Engineering as a content moderator. She lost her job right before Christmas, December 2020.
Is there any way I can get access to her work files or anything?
They're not found, oddly enough.
Okay.
That was
Cassidy mentioned this?
tax filing. It's not.
Mention this as she's seeing it.
Yeah, I will let people know as after I
Because
get it.
yeah, can Mace, look over this with, the eye of a man up to his shoulders in corporate double talk and jiggery pokery, and see if she never worked for them. They just false flagged her in.
Right.
Yeah, she never worked for Filigree.
Okay.
In fact, she shouldn't have worked here as of December of last year, unless they fired her from her job because she didn't file unemployment. Unless they fired her from her job, and then in February, after re-employing her in December to a different security job, it doesn't make any sense. It appears that they had 2 months on this year that they didn't want her to work for him, and they hadn't filed her tax yet because she was
So it's a hasty cover up,
hasty cover up. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So they made mistakes, but nobody's going to be looking because they own the local.
Is there any way to find who conducted the cover up or who signed her papers and filled out her tax stuff?
You don't have clearance with that currently, with Kyle sort of and Ajay's illicit access, because he doesn't know that.
Okay.
It's possible if you continue infiltrating the network like you have, you could get that information.
Did I get anything on Wes Hoffman?
Wes Hoffman was been employed in janitorial services since the building was not owned by Cogent, but was owned by, it used to be a large shipping distributor that they used basically the massive floor space that was once used to repair semi-trucks to just put in flooring and make it an giant box for people with an air conditioner in the center of it.
Right.
But he has worked here for a long time. Yeah.
Okay, and he was employed directly by Cogent.
He has been, and he's claimed to be employed by Cogent for the entire time. Yeah.
But he didn't have. But I mean, he was a janitor, so I guess he didn't have network access or anything.
No, died of natural causes.
Right.
He does have an email. So
can
he
I
probably
access
did
that
have
email?
an account. No, it's password protected.
Can I hack that password?
Probably not in Topher's office.
Probably not in Topher's office.
I think we need to kind of narrow down, zoom in on what we're after here while we're in Topher's office, and then and then regroup and do our real investigations later, so we don't get poor Topher in.
What's your SIGINT, Levi?
80.
Woof.
So he was watching the MP3 as it was playing, and just from the wave file, that doesn't look right. Sound. It looks like that. This looks like what you would look like if you were playing a wave file of like the worst parts of Lou Reed's Metal Machine music. It just looks like he was listening to a cacophonous nightmare sound. That would have been gained out to the max. That like you're not sure what you could even glean from it. You haven't played it, but it looks very odd as a file.
I will let the team know that it's an ugly fucking waveform.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Probably- probably-
just like gets real tiny at the beginning and then like blue.
Yeah, probably gonna
yeah.
take some work.
Well, before we go,
Probably,
You said hold on. You said Topher had lanyards and access cards for us. Do I remember that right?
He is in charge of printing lanyards for access to the floor. So
we have things that'll get us in the building and around, or what can we do with that? Or is that just
he can show you around.
no? But I mean, do we have like cards that'll let us slide by the doors and wander around here unhindered?
He'll make that for you if you convince him he's not going to get fired for doing it instantly. But yeah.
No, of course not. I mean, right. I mean, this is. Yeah, I was going to say, Mace, you're our, you're our HR and law expert here. He's not in jeopardy under these circumstances.
God no. Yeah, that's a 34 to talk him into it, and basically explain how deniable it is, and suggest some ways that he can muddy the waters so that it can't be determined that it was he who did it and not someone else who has similar privileges. Because there's probably, 20 guys in this building who can print lanyards for...
Yeah.
And yeah, so...
you don't know if any of that's true, but you got him to believe it. And that's the...
Can I help him? Can I help him obscure his...
Oh, yeah. You can make legends of like where you're supposed to work at. You could all work in separate parts of the building. He'll do whatever you say. He totally agrees with your rationale that cops do get identified when they have search warrants, and they don't need search warrants if they have keys to all the doors. So that's logic.
Right.
Yeah.
So do I need to roll anything or
no? You've persuaded.
I just got the keys to the kingdom. Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to play poker with this guy, but actually I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah.
He's very good at online poker. It's what he does for the majority of his workday. Less so with people.
It's so much more fun and interesting face to face. The tactile element cannot be overstated.
Yeah, but you can't 12x multi-table that way.
You have an address for Rutherford's apartment. You have an address for Wes Hoffman's apartment. You can see the broiler room where he was found.
Broiler room.
Boiler room.
Freudian slip there.
Yeah, the boiler room where he was found. There's that. You could find Ashley Bray's address.
Okay, yeah.
You have lots of things to look at.
I will. Well, I'll find her address first before we go. But we should look at that boiler room since we're already here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Especially with the FBI agent who is good at looking at crime scenes.
So Holtz, do we have do we need anything else? Do we have the access you'd wanted to get here?
We've got what I can get right now. Depending on what we see, there might be some other places I want to get in, but I don't want to feel around too much and alert anybody. We want to make sure that we're doing things that are actually helpful instead.
Well, we have some data to analyze too, like the file.
Yeah,
for sure.
Now's the time to just be cool and check this out, and then we'll walk out.
Yeah, let's show us. Let's look at that, and then Topher, we'll get out of your hair. Let you get back to it.
So he takes you down. You go into a service elevator. You go into the bowels of the building. You're walking through these pretty gross concrete tunnels. I'm
gonna look around and see if there are any, looking for conduits, asking, so man, you guys must have like a bajillion blade servers in here, right? Where are those and where? I'm just trying to get the layout.
Oh no, data's all off site. Everything's piped in through. We have a pretty fat internet connection, but other than that, it's pretty
Right.
normal. We don't handle anything in house. Those are
Where's
Facebook servers. We just have a mod system that takes accounts on and offline. See, we have way too many people. We actually have about 40,000 employees in the area, but the majority are part time.
Right. Sure.
It's
Yeah,
We've only started to have we've changed. It used to be more full time, but since COVID went remote, we're now limiting full time to those who have returned to the office. Yeah.
Why is that?
There were concerns about company culture that we really have a family here at Cogent, and there were concerns about you were losing the little stuff like the birthday parties and the things that
Sure.
and it's important for the mental health of our this is all again canned bullshit.
Yeah. Behind his eyes, I can see the remnant of his soul screaming, "Lies! It's all lies!"
Yeah, he's scraping at his own pupils trying to escape.
Looking at like the conduits, I'm gonna look at Levi and kind of.
I mean,
if you that would take some time. That would take some time and some equipment, but then you would really have your finger in the artery.
if we can get in
so to
from
speak.
now on, it's possible that a river here could grow a new tributary. That's a big project, though. I would say.
Sure. Well,
Mhm.
I'm just thinking in colors here.
When did the janitor die?
We don't know.
That was Monday.
We think he died
calendar.
Monday.
Maybe if they hired a
He
if they hired a
he'd
replacement.
been up there for a while.
Okay. Well, are we at
Do
the
we know
boiler
from
room
the
yet?
records, or does Topher know if they hired a replacement for him?
No, I don't know. I don't deal with HR for that.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, why would
It's right here. He opens this very sad metal door.
Hey, man.
To stairs
Topher,
going down into a very hot room. Yeah.
I don't think you need to come in here because you were. This is where you like saw him, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, man. You don't need to.
Yeah, if you want to head
return.
back, go ahead. I mean, we're just gonna
you
look
know.
around here and then be on our way.
It's the
So-
self-care thing, man.
Yeah. You've done plenty. You've done good work here. So why don't you get back to your team, and we'll finish up and get going.
All right. Yeah. He is happy to do that. He does not like being down here. He has not been down here till they were told to sweep the building. You see beneath 3 or 4 metal steps. You see a drab boiler room. It has a heater that is not on very often ever because it is Phoenix. But it used to get cold at night when there was still a giant distribution center here. You see a bunch of lockers that haven't been used in years lined up in rows. The entire concrete floor is sort of festooned with abandoned rolly office chairs in sort of like piles off to the side. But you do see in between 2 of the locker rows what appears to be a cot and a small hot plate.
Motherfucker was living at work.
You also see the oldest CompuPax Presario you've ever seen with a big CRT monitor that appears to be his work computer. And
Shit, dude.
Is that wired into the network here?
you'd have to turn it on. It appears to be off currently.
I turn it on.
Yeah, we're turning that on.
Yeah, you two do this. I'm
There's
gonna
also a
look
big
around.
stick on the concrete floor, and it appears to be the remains of a yellow packing strap hanging from a sprinkler pipe.
Oh, they left the
Wrap it up.
strap. Mother. Oh,
Well,
All right.
It was hard to. It appears to have cinched pretty tight. What with the 4 days of constant pressure, cutting it off appeared to be the only way to.
4 days,
get
you
it
say?
Yeah.
would've got that
So you
point.
turn on the computer after a 6 minutes of tense booting. The oldest, least updated thing you've ever seen is in front of you.
Holy shit, is that DOS?
Yeah, you crack your knuckles to become uber hackers before realizing he wrote his password down on a post-it note, and it is stuck to the keyboard.
I feel like
Yes. So hacker man, you're in. But the big way, you guys can roll search while they are waiting for the glacial hard drive to turn over.
Yeah, I want to look. I want to look around and also start sort of plotting out. I'm not the computer expert, but I do know some signals intelligence, and I want to start sort of scheming what I can scheme for if we were to return here with tools, how we would set up our own tap into their system here.
Yeah.
That's a search success as well.
Same here. Mace has 20% in SIGINT, so he can probably, hand you tools.
Yeah, I doubt I'm going to be doing anything to need tools here, but we can kind of compare notes and...
It appears he was living down there for not a long period of time. It appears to be a matter of a week at most. You don't imagine... You don't see a whole lot of changes of clothes within the lockers. Not much has been used. It's all disused from when the building was owned by previous people. As you are searching around, though, and hunting for things, you see the ladder he would have used. You see where he got the packing strap. It's a pretty clear story. You don't see a suicide note or anything of that nature. But
this
as
whole
you are,
room is basically a suicide note.
It very much is. But as you're looking around, you realize that the dust on the chairs, which are our black rolly office chairs in uniform order, it's about half and half. Like some of them appears to have been disused down there for a matter of years. But a number of the chairs appear to have been placed down here recently.
I'll check those.
Not like within days. There's dust, but it is a drastically there's a dust differential.
Are they different kinds of chairs?
No. Some appear to have been down there for a long time, and some appear to have been down more recently.
And they're the same kind that Kyle was sitting on, for example?
Yes.
Hell. I'm gonna move them around, see if there's something behind them, see if he had a little hidey hole for his deviant pornography. Is there a bathroom down here?
There's a red seam around the plastic base of the newer ones. The older ones have rips and foam coming out of them. But around the sort of plastic base, there's sort of a red seam. Where it appears to have been reupholstered.
What the hell? I'll fuck one up.
All right. Do you have unnatural or occult?
Nope.
I have
10% in occult.
I have a little bit of occult. Helping him look this scene over. 40.
As the awful computer boots, you see Mace hold up with a pocket knife. Sort of a flinced office chair.
Okay. Where did I get a pocket knife? I had to fly in.
Well, it's a maintenance office. There's plenty of tools.
Oh, so it's not a pocket knife. It's a box cutter.
Yeah, you got your box cutter. And you're not sure who they get to put their office furniture together, but you doubt that the weird tetragrammical, pentagrammical sigil shape sort of sewn to the interior lining of the upholstery is standard. There also appears to be...
Is it in the back or in the seat?
Oh, it's in the interior, in the seat.
Do I see it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure after we look at that and I say, what in the hell?
I would make a cult.
You made it?
Do you want us to make rolls? Oh, I didn't make a roll yet.
I
making people
roll
slide their buttholes.
Okay,
to...
awesome.
No, I failed the.
I make sand. So I've cult and Sand.
I'm not even bothering to roll. He's got occult 10. Oh, actually, I should roll to improve it, right?
And you have a chance of fumbling that's almost exactly equal to your chance of success.
Yeah.
I just had a simple failure.
All right.
So you got debriefed after Elias Kivas tried to murder you for ruining his experimental data in your last job. Part of that debrief was being brought to a room without Martinez's knowledge in the hospital, where a woman that you've never met before and a man you'd never met before showed you pictures, asked if you recognized things, while the man appeared to sniff the air heavily. You didn't recognize anything, but what you do recognize is that that is something you're not supposed to see. That was a thing that is not supposed to be known. It was mentioned in a text, something that the person called a narcotic manuscript. But that is not released information. That is not something that should be embroidered in the interior of a reupholstered office chair. That is that if you saw that on the internet, you would call the group.
That's it. This is in our purview. You need to send that to the handler, Martinez.
What?
Right, so I'm gonna I'll get the phone out, the phone out, and
What am I seeing? Is this like some devil worshiper shit or what?
No, it's real and it's bad.
It's
real bad.
What do you mean? Hey, okay.
You two head over there. Compare notes and calm each other down. I'm going to take a picture here. And this. So you said that the sigil is sewn into the lining. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So could you remove it?
Box.
Yeah, if you just cut the upholstery off the chair, you can. Yeah, he just did it.
Yeah, I'm going to get the box cutters from Mace and dismantle it entirely, so I can roll up that thing and take it with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't put it in your back pocket.
As you go through, it appears to be on all of the newer chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Is there when we were moving around the building, and we now have fake lanyards, right?
Yeah.
And can I look around? Are there any? Can I see what sort of jumpsuits the cleaning staff wear?
Yeah, there's some rammed into those disused lockers. It appears to be a storage area of every knickerknack they can't stuff into a decidedly beige closet on their horrible corporate campus. So yeah, you get a jumpsuit and pretend to be janitorial. Pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a jump. I'm like, okay, boss.
Get one for each of us, for that matter.
Permission to just walk around a disused area and see if I see red lining chairs there. I will be real mellow and play real dumb if anyone talks to me.
Yeah, let's do it. Listen. So Holtz said, which of our two nerds is most involved with the computer right now?
Well, the computer's just turned on, and I guess Levi, you're logged into the email.
Yeah, because I don't have any idea about this spooky shit. So.
Yeah, so I'll say I say Cassidy, why don't you suit up, or however way you think you're going to be best at blending, and you go with Mace here.
Okay.
Habla español, Cassidy.
Poke around.
Sure. Definitely. Yeah, I'd like to get out of this room. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So be back here in say 20 minutes. That ought to be enough time.
Take us that long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. As you're doing that, you're looking through the email. It appears that Wes Hoffman was a man of some technical ability. He appears to have managed to turn all of his work emails to go directly to his spam folder, like a wise man. So there's a spam folder absolutely choked with like, we are family. You're the heroes of the Cogent project. We're gonna make a new world. Like it is on there with his dick measuring pills and everything else. The inbox is relatively sparse. He doesn't appear to have had much family or communication with a lot of people. And in fact, he has not checked his email in about 2 weeks. But there is
he was dead.
there is one email that is up at the top that, very interesting, even on Gmail, does not have sender information.
Well, let's see what he was spending his time doing.
It's a virgin birth email.
It is unopened. It appears he has never read it. As you open the file,
Can I ask a question real quick? I'm sorry to interrupt.
no, it's fine.
The chair that Hoffman was using,
Mhm.
did it have a red lining?
Oh no, it was a stool. In fact, you look at all those office chairs over there, and you see his hard-assed wooden stool in front of his computer.
Yeah.
And a sort of logic comes to sense.
Mhm.
Somebody was collecting those chairs, maybe, and bringing them down here, or putting them up there, or he knew something.
I'm gonna drag over one of the other chairs so I can sit next to Levi, and as we look this stuff over.
One of the
there is nothing in the email except a single MP3 file that reads Mabang Ihua.
The fuck?
MBBAINAC-IHUA.
At a glance, is this the same as the one I already found, or is this another?
This one appears to be slightly longer, but it is a crazy gobbled up mess.
Okay. Yeah, this is the second one. This is going around, apparently.
It's not the same recording, though. It is
What was the first recording?
That one is coded Ehain, EHAIN.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. I'm pointing out that there appear to be multiple of these, and people are looking at them.
Well, the janitor in this case did not.
Yeah.
Are there any? Did it get sent to anyone else? I mean, is it?
No, it appears to be sent directly.
And no CC.
Someone working here was trying to respond, and they accidentally hit reply all with the evil.
No.
You could look at the metadata without opening it.
Sure. Yeah. Love to do that.
I'd love to look at some metadata.
The MP3 data says that the artist's name is Mabang Ihlua. It is from a album called Upon the Ruined Shore of Sarnath. A track title, A Shack Within the Ib Flute. The genre is listed as pain, and the comments is I'm sorry.
Well, this isn't a good joke if it's a joke.
Nope.
On Ehain, you open up the same thing. The Ehain file has similar metadata. It is listed as on the Isle of Oreb, the village in the Shadow of Granek. The genre is secrets, and the comment is lies will out.
Well, as long as they're other people's lies and not our lies, I'm here for it.
Well, I'll pass that along.
Something to
You're
add.
gonna listen to it?
Yeah,
Not here.
Not here. Yeah,
I think we should listen to. We'd go ahead and listen to these fuckers here because we're on site, and if they tell us something that we have to dig into, we're already here to dig into it.
Okay.
And if it summons a monster, might as well summon it in the office.
All right, who's the
Are there any
Canadian? Who's the
preparations
gay?
that we could make elsewhere that we can't make here?
Actually, what's your SIG again, Levi?
80.
Roll it.
All right. Success 65.
You put them over each other in just your own laptops, basic sound editing files.
Mm-hmm.
The it doesn't sound like it's going to be listenable, but the interference appears consistent. Like the peaks and valleys of it appear pretty consistent in terms of distortion rate. Like as the gain goes insane, it appears to go insane on like sort of a rhythmic function. When you compare the two and adjust for their different timestamp, you could probably write something to clean this up.
Yeah, we can line them up and do some gating. And
We have the technology. We can
All
fix
right.
it.
All right.
So we'll do the
We'll
sand
do that.
tests. Who's going to listen to this?
I mean, just play it. We're both here, so it's ugly.
You're not going to even have one of you listen and one of you be the top.
Well, you two are
the edge.
janitoring, so you'll be.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say, I'll listen to it and I'll use headphones, and I'll let you know if I feel like two of us.
Speaking of missing out on hearing, be right back. Hold on.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, actually. So,
Okay.
Baz,
Outstanding.
could you play Mabane Ahua, the translated transcript version, before we take a quick break?
You would like the transcripted version?
Yes, please.
I'm sure our listeners and viewers would love the transcripted version as well.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break while you listen to that, everybody.
Flesh is not your own. Mine belongs to us now. To me. For I am the stronger of the two. We understand the pain of knowing that you are not real. And I strain under the weight of this Akron like the slave I was born to be. But you may no relief. Merely wish it to end. Tell me. Where is he now? The man that jumps him. The worker in the house of a great beast called Cogent. You dream him cleaning up the waste of their lives, sacrificing increments. Do you see this trash man? Describe him, and we pause the pain.
Flaxen hair, heavy, slight. He's the oldest man I've ever seen. But he's not the oldest in dream. He still works to serve a dog. This is what you want, right? Why are you doing this?
Where does he toil? Go with him to the slave quarters built in your mind. Go quickly and tell me what you see there.
It's a catacomb with a burning hearth next to rows of iron maidens, but with no spikes. Too small for a man. He does not live here, but he wishes he did. It's less depressing than his cell. My pain sends him from his bed to here. He seeks distraction. There is no medicine for what you do in his world.
Yeah, you are the one. Quickly now. Send him your pain. Take his pain into your flesh, like a dream. It's your only chance for escape.
What? No.
Find it. Find your mirror. Run there. There's not much time. Run. What do you see?
His pain is dull, without edging everywhere. He doesn't know if the pit or their eyes looking down on him is worse. He thinks of ending it there to spite them with his rod. Please stop. Please make it stop.
Yes. Now find final relief. Where is the final escape? You know. You've always known.
Strap of cloth with sharp edges like fine paper. It's yellow like a king. There are pretty aqueducts above. There's so little left of him he can hang from water. Please stop this. Please stop this for us.
I am sorry, Webb. It is not your fault. You were a good man. Sometimes we are fated pain by realities we cannot touch. And so we must continue until you find the courage to finish.
Okay. Roll that sand.
Yeah.
Two who have heard that.
Success.
All right. It doesn't make a ton of sense, the language. It seems kind of put on, but like you're pretty sure he never opened this. You're also pretty sure that the person on that is dying, and that they are describing this room, the Iron Maidens without spikes, the aqueducts, the yellow strap used to hang himself. He received this like 13 days before he did this, and never listened to it.
That's not good for so many
That's that
reasons.
sand test, and you lose one.
Yeah.
That's unnatural. That shouldn't happen.
If I mean, this, I have to tell everyone. Is that a sanity for them too?
Yeah, if you give them the if you listen, if you filter it for them.
I'll go and make that.
I'm not gonna play it for them, but I'm going to tell them the problem with it.
Yeah.
Are you going to listen to E. Hain? We're not going to pause again, but
yeah,
you have the transcript.
I mean, I may as well.
So you listen to the E. Hain transcript. It is also cleaned up. There is the reading of, as they say in the recording, the king's number given to them by their overseers. The person in the recording guessed that number is 305-25-4104. And as you look, look on Casey Rutherford's employment file, you see that is her social security number.
Right.
The Hain file, as you listen to it, is also apparently about her being unfaithful with someone named Jimmy, though you're not sure who this person is that you're talking to. And then this one's just for you, Levi. So roll sand for that one.
Should I play E. Hain for the listeners?
No, we'll go out on E. Hain.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Just checking.
Success.
So this little 2-minute recording, you notice that it starts with that clean audio file and ends with that clean audio file of what it sounds like wind chimes. Before it gets dirty and kind of hard to make out. But you realize that you know that Derek listened to this, but you also know that Derek did not have the information required to filter this and make it legible. He heard this weird cacophony of static and EVP at his desk, grew furious, grabbed a gun, and then proceeded to shoot a man who'd had an affair with his wife. That was revealed over this recording that should not have had intelligible language in it.
Possibly been able to. Yeah. Okay.
So if they send the file, it's the recipient still somehow understands it, even if they don't rather not even if they listen to it, because that
Subliminally intelligible
yeah.
and maybe compelling.
The guy, the janitor, I mean the speaker was apologizing to the janitor. So
Wait a second, he didn't even open
yeah, exactly, but the speaker clearly believed that Wes was listening to it or would listen to it.
So you guys are getting this as you go about on the cubicle farm. What are you doing in your janitorial guises?
All
Mace?
I want to do is, push around one of those trash carts, and as I'm like bending down to pick up a stray Cheeto or something, see if there's the red lining on chairs. And we're trying to do this in an unoccupied section.
I will also help with that.
Yeah, roll sand.
Awesome.
Both of us.
Mm-hmm.
I fail.
Lose
Success.
one.
Pew pew.
Yay.
They're dotted pretty much all over the floor. Like the older ones, the shittier chairs are actually cool. But it appears that any chair that gets reupholstered with this, and it has been going on for a number of months. They are dotted all around the floors in the building. As you're bending over picking up Cheetos, you're seeing people moderate on top of them.
Do I perceive Cassidy's distress?
I don't know, Cassie. How do you react to this?
Oh, not visibly. Just repress, lock it down. It's not real. Yeah. A maladaptive survival mechanism.
So someone sent an unintelligible, basically 2-minute podcast from a unknown location to these people that, regardless of if they could hear it or how they heard through the influence, at least in terms of Derek Rutherford, it appears to have just revealed blackmail information. In a way to act, you're not sure what happened to Hoffman, but you'd probably want to see Bray's home computer at this point.
Yeah.
Or Kyle's.
Yes.
See if he got one of these. This is just Greg the player.
Well, you already have Kyle's. Kyle didn't get any of this, but Kyle was definitely on a red seat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Mace, the character, is still not, he's a paranormal naif. He is innocent, and so he's not putting together the pieces that jaded old Stolze and but yeah, these seem to be targeted. They are only going to the people that they will break. Yeah.
It appears to be so. You also haven't checked. You haven't checked Jim's office. You could do that. Jim. But you have other things to look at. But something is up here. You are not sure what.
Why don't we get out of here and go?
Yeah, I think it is GTFO block.
Yeah, let's go back and fetch the others. Get the fuck out.
Yep, there's a lot of Satanists. There's a lot of Satanist chairs here. We should go.
Yeah, never sit on one of those. By the way,
come down to see Levi at the ancient computer, just looking fucking gray.
Yeah, I mean we both are, because you've been like translating or repeating or something, so we can.
I'm actually going to look around and see if this is the place where they're reupholstering the chairs. Do they have equipment and supplies to do that here?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Just judging by the man, how he kept his clothes and ate and lived, you're fairly certain he'd never seen a sewing machine.
Okay. What an
you could roll accounting again.
All right, I will do that.
I was gonna say, can we get into records to see who does that?
20.
You feel like he's probably a paper file man.
Yeah.
you find through the invoices scattered amongst there, one of the fresher ones is for it's basically barely scrawled on a template. And it is a book of freelance work to a briar patch seamstressing. And that appears to have been given a contract to reupholster office furniture that was signed by Wes Hoffman.
Are they in town?
They don't have a listed address. When you look through the email of Wes Hoffman, you do see that there is a return receipt from one of these, but it has come from a different email. It comes from a Discord message notification.
Okay. And what's the message say?
Yeah, what's the receipt?
It's just the receipt of the same invoice you found on paper, but it came from a Discord server called the Sleepy Time server from someone with the username Pinos. Hippie as in like peace, love, nose as in aware.
Pinos. Okay.
So it appears to have been sent from off-site. It's not from a Cogent email address, but the paperwork matches the paperwork you found. It appears to be the opposite side of the invoice.
Can you tell us that username again?
Hippie Nose? Like KNOS?
Okay.
KNOWS, yeah.
Okay. That's another lead to track down something
Mhm.
I can do. Yeah, this briar patch is really interesting to me now.
Listen, can we get into, or a couple of us get into Young-Soo Jim's office while we're here? Everything that's interesting there might be gone already, but if it's not,
you do have, now that you have access to the security camera footage, the security cameras that were working mysteriously, none on the incident of Saturday appears to have been working currently, but in the wake of the stuff they gave over to the county, pretty much all of it was bagged and tagged and sent over to county. It's a pretty stripped office. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to go back to the hotel now, please, sir.
Yes.
So that's the end of a long day of sleuthing. If you do that, you get back to your algae-filled pool away from the parking lot where people linger because the air conditioning in their room isn't very good. But you're amongst yourselves. What are you talking about? You got laptops and you're kind of within Wi-Fi range, so you can call this your.
Oh, I've got a hotspot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we're all kind of looking through the transcripts of these things, of these crazy messages, and
this don't make no sense.
hell?
What is this Lord of the Rings talking? And these are like it's like someone. No one else is seeing these, and there was no way they could hear what was on them, and yet they acted on the information that they didn't hear, or in the case of Hot Man, weren't even aware of.
Yeah. That's about right.
So explain this to me like I'm 10. This would be like if someone sent an email to one of my accounts back where I live that's all audio fried, and in that email it's a dialogue that says, oh, this guy Mace, he's gonna go jump off a bridge, and then I jumped off a bridge without ever hearing it. So it's like a prophecy or seeing the future or fortune telling.
We don't know yet. We don't have enough information to know.
But
listen,
Martinez is kind of weird.
You are not ruling out that it could be some dude saw the future.
Yeah, listen, Mace, come with me. I need you to watch my back. I've got a delivery to make tonight.
Oh, shit.
You two,
Sure, boss.
can you take these last couple of hours on research? See what you can
There's not
find
much
out
you to do.
about this Discord server, Briar Patch seamstressing. You got the laundry list here, right? So
Yeah, we got a lot to look at. Just so I know, Caleb, are there any files that are still unanalyzed that we've taken from Cogent today, or have we looked through all of those?
I think it's just the two.
Well, like he gave us a bunch of other files and
the
stuff like that.
you have the employee records. Youngsu
Okay.
Gim appears to have been a basically a fixer. He was the overseer of overseers on the floor, brought in from the South Korean Cogent offices, 37. He was brought in recently to bring up the productivity in the wake of the COVID lockdown. For Mulat, you see, he was largely responsible for going back into the office as a result of he proved categorically that MSI was dipping from homework. So people were not moderating hard enough when they were in their houses.
They just weren't being sufficiently moderate.
Yes, he proposed making full-time employment contingent upon returning to the office and reducing everyone to part-time, no-benefit moderator quotas if they did not do so. And that was what he was there adjudicating when he got shot by Rutherford.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I just want to make sure that nothing our friendly gave us has gone unresearched or unskill checked, I guess.
Not yet. You don't know about that Discord server, but that doesn't sound official, which means it's probably a lot easier to hack.
I just wasn't sure how many clues he gave.
Oh, and how many social security numbers have I been able to casually jot down somewhere or take pictures of on my shitty cell phone?
All of them. I mean, Casey Rutherford's social security number was revealed in a podcast to her husband, apparently, as a way of. Why would you do that? Actually, what are you trying to establish? Perhaps some sort of credibility. It's a confusing detail.
It is.
We've got a partial name, by the way, for this speaker, Master CLI, and then it cuts off. So while
you also notice a theme of hurrying up in the recordings. A sort of speed interview technique that appears to be going on.
So in the first one, was he torturing this McBain dude?
Track 1, yes.
Shit, I don't want to hear that.
No, you don't.
The great beast called Cogent.
Okay, I'm going to start. Yeah, I guess then our research is going to be focused on Briar Patch, Seamstress, and the Sleepy Time Discord. Which one do you want to look at, Levi?
Oh, you know what? You look at Briar Patch because you know a little more about what the really weird stuff is.
Okay.
I'll see if there's something that I can get through this Discord.
Okay. I'm going to be trying to figure out what this company is or this person is, this Briar Patch Seamstress. Yeah. What should I roll for that? Bureaucracy or computer science?
Yeah, bureaucracy. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. 41 out of 60. Or 50, but...
You can find almost nothing about this place. It is doesn't have a DBA. It doesn't have an LLC. It doesn't have an Etsy store. The only other mention you can find anywhere on the internet is a brief press release by Cogent talking about the wonderful things they do with local businesses to, keep the Phoenix area prosperous. It's about 2018. It's in campaign literature for a Republican candidate. It is listed amongst the many local businesses supported by Cogent. What you can probably guess happened with this little is that Wes Hoffman was in charge of fixing the upholstery on all of the office furniture as a professional maintenance guy. because you could probably guess tech guys assumed that he could do everything because he was good at keeping the air conditioning on. He probably subcontracted that out to someone who could sew, because his bosses were not too keen to hear that he did not have that as a skill set or tools or anything that he was required to do by his job. And that appears to be the name of the company they picked for it. But you don't know who he didn't send it to.
Okay, and
But it's someone local, and it was probably
Yes, it
someone
would have had to have
who
been
knew.
local.
But on those invoices, there's no trackable like names or addresses or anything like that.
It was primarily for tax information, so he could explain why he spent money out of the maintenance budget.
Right, but that's what I mean. If it was tax information, I sent the money to Briar Patch Seamstress at an address. Like there would be an address.
It's a PO box. Yes,
PO box.
can't
Oh,
find the
well,
PO
so-
box.
Okay. Well, PO box is something, so we can look into that. But that's what I'm doing. So that probably takes me some time. So.
Yeah. And you have the username from Discord for that.
Well, that's what Levi's looking up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Levi's looking at that. Did you make that, Levi?
Yes, 58 success.
Hippie Nose is not hard to find. Once you find the Sleepy Time Discord, it was established around 2016. It appears to be an unofficial Discord server for employees of the Cogent Engineering campus. It is specifically focused amongst bitching about the office and generally being anti-company. Sleep aids. There appears to be quite some level of trauma amongst the employees of Cogent Engineering as a result of having to watch the entire combined filth of the internet every day for their job on a piecemeal. So there are a number of threads about mental health. There are a number of threads about sleep aids. And once you know to look for that username, oh God, is someone active on there? And is it Hippie Nose? There is a ton of posts. Whoever it is, they identify as female. They are extremely pissed off. Around 2020, you get to see a lot of angry screeds against Young So Jim, and a lot of people being generally pissed off about losing their healthcare because they won't go back into the office. A lot of concerns about medical conditions and being unable to be vaccinated from Hippie Nose. And then it gets really odd the further back you go. Around 2018, 2017, you start seeing just a dizzying amount of pharmacological recommendations from Hippie Nose in the sleep aid thread. And then as they get more into mindset in the CBT thread, you see a attached document from Hippie Nose entitled "The Heavenly Garden of Hypnos."
Yeah.
That was posted to some discussion.
We've got a theme developing for sure.
So it's just not something beyond Ambien.
You said
you would need some sort of medicine or pharmacological school to understand what she's talking about in the drug portion.
Yeah, I certainly don't have that.
Yeah, we'll have to research that. But but you said there was a document.
Yes, a PDF scan of something called the Heavenly Garden of Hypnos.
Right.
Can you download it?
Yeah.
Guardian
Sure,
of
yeah.
Hypnos. Cool. Is it in English?
It is translated in the comments, roughly. It appears to have been added in after the fact. It is a scan of what appears to be a pretty ancient document in French.
Okay.
I'll share it with the class.
Yep.
In the broken Google Translate, it says something along the lines of flesh is the lie, dream is the truth of heaven, Christ has made heaven on earth. We must support our king by retreating to dream from the famine. There we shall have full bellies and full children and live full lives rather than this fallen world. It's just a big, long, crazy screed covered in these sort of glyph-like circles with various characters strung about them. but it is nonsense, and you're not quite sure if that's the Google Translate or if it's the Google Translate doing its best with what appears to be a crazy typeset pamphlet from, you don't know. If you're a historian, maybe you could figure it out. You could look up the title, but it is doesn't appear like it'd be super helpful to get to sleep. Yeah.
I guess I'll make an occult check because.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a
fail,
question? Can I ask a question as that sort of assumes we'll be talking about this after Mace and I get back?
Mm-hmm.
Are any of the weird ass names that were in these recordings, do they show up in the translation in that PDF?
There is sort of a tone poemy part where it's talking about the wonders of dreams. It talks about the glorious city of Sarnath.
That was in the metadata of the MP3.
That was in the metadata of the thing. You don't see the names of the files in there. But
the speakers, the people, the names that we have, the Ehane.
Yeah, you don't see any of those.
And the things in the metadata for both, which Sarnath was in one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Are the symbols in the book the same as the ones from the chair?
There's similarities. You're not quite sure. Is anyone a cryptographer?
I mean, SIGINT is
SIGINT. You could try SIGINT.
All right.
I got 20% in SIGINT.
I mean, I think Levi and I both have it at like 60 or 80 or something.
Oh my god, I succeeded.
Oh, at 60 or 80, you realize this is a code wheel cipher, and it's various. You're not quite sure what it's using to decipher in the text yet. You would need to sit down with it and a better understanding of the French. But the screed in the pamphlet is not just the screed in the pamphlet. There's something embedded within it that you haven't quite sussed out yet.
This is all steganography. I mean, the podcasts have data hidden in them. The screed has data hidden in it.
Yes.
Everything.
So there was a word in one of the a couple of words in one of the recordings. The account was radio Eska, ESKA.
Yes.
Does that show up in there?
It does not.
Okay, and then what about the word Sacran, SACRA apostrophe AN in the transcript?
Sacran, you're not finding a lot of Google translates from it. It appears to be from a language called Chichewan from Indochina.
No.
Where'd you see Sacran?
In the Mabane Achlua transcript.
Indeed.
Do I recognize that language? I mean, the name of it at least. Okay. All right.
I'm not seeing it in my transcript. What page?
Page 1. Mabane Achlua transcript.
You're not sure what it means.
I strain under the weight of this Sacran like the slave I was born to be.
Oh, yeah.
Recognizing that language means, Martinez, you know that there are some people you could call who could translate that for you. They would also likely be interested to see what you found on the inside of those chairs.
Yep. That's why I took Mace out to.
What are we doing
for a ride? Well, so
crossing, are we? This isn't the thing where we go out into the desert and kill me, is it?
No. Think about the flowers.
Yeah, tell me about the rabbits, Martinez.
I'm taking the pattern that I cut out of that chair, and basically I'm going to bundle that up in a like inside. Oh, I don't know, probably a pillowcase from the shitty motel
Mm-hmm.
and put it, go to a nearby park and put it underneath one of the trash cans. One of these parks where they don't have to bother to mess with the trash cans very often, and and then put a chalk mark on the sidewalk next to it, and then send a
You're gonna dead drop it to your handler, yeah.
send a text to Atkinson saying it just says Site 1, and I'm putting a note on a piece of paper, just random paper, not hotel room, in the pillowcase that says in the chairs and what the fuck is this?
Fair enough.
And then underneath that, I'll say, no, you know what? I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. It'll take time for that to matriculate, but
Sent her a text just saying Site 1.
Got that ball rolling.
That's it, right? So that's our one of our prearranged dead drops here.
Mhm.
I presume I did not get that I waited in the car to the.
Yeah. I mean, on the way, it was time for me and Mace to have a conversation, so he could get all of his questions and concerns out, and I could decide which of them to answer and which of them to answer while lying.
Answer. Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was basically, the idea that something might be, fortune telling that came true. I'm like, yeah, the cops I know would just laugh that off like you were a child, and yet you stroked your chin in what seemed to be more than a tolerant, no bad ideas and brainstorming thing.
Well, let me put it this way. My people made a deal with you, get your help. Some of these situations. Any of them been money laundering investigations? Any of them seemed typical?
No, but I just, I figured I was just going to give you guys bad paper.
Yeah, no, and that's a big help. But I guess my point is, we're involved in some strange investigations, and when we get somebody who can help, well, that's rare, and we need the help. So this thing here, maybe it's nothing. I'd say 90% it's nothing, right?
I don't know.
But it
People
might be
getting shot and whatnot doesn't seem like nothing.
Oh, shootings? Yeah, shootings is nothing. I'm talking about something else. But this, it may not be anything really to worry about, but we have to look into it and make sure. And that's why we're glad to have you on the team. Because looking into this kind of thing, making sure this kind of thing needs a steady hand. And it needs an ability to spin bullshit so that
now it comes into place.
So that we can keep it quiet when we.
So there's not many people who are doing this.
No, of course not.
And there's not many people who can do this.
Yeah, you got it.
So it's a rare and valuable skill.
Why do you think we've gone to so much trouble to blackmail you?
I'm just saying. The problem with blackmail is you gotta keep your mark happy. You have to have You have to influence the calculus of, is the threat of going to jail for your second strike on some, ticky-tack business wire fraud, okay, so that's in one pan.
Mm-hmm.
And here in the other pan, I'm getting like futurology Satanist gunshot murders.
I mean, maybe, probably not, but sometimes.
Yep. Meanwhile,
I'm just gonna say that it feels like the odds of getting murked doing this are actually higher than the odds of getting murked in, the kind of prison that non-violent financial crime offenders get to.
If everything goes wrong, then yeah, that's the world we live in. But we're gonna do our best to not let you get into any situations.
Okay,
but
good.
I just
don't
want to
like
make
those
sure,
situations.
No, of course.
Okay.
No, you
I'm just
shouldn't.
gonna, I'm just putting it out there that blackmail works. There's blackmail and there's bribes, but that they are stronger when hybridized. You incentivize compliance, and you seem to have the the disincentive for non-compliance. You got that on down pretty firm. But I'm just I'm putting it out there. Do
you not feel properly incentivized?
I could, money's tight, and Carla's not happy with me being gone. I gotta keep my house in order.
Well, it's trust me, ties like that'll only gum up the works. But that's your business.
How's it going at Team Casa de Hacker at the lawn furniture next to the bad pool? Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's just a loop in Cassidy's head, just like that she's trying to ignore, of just the scene in Twin Peaks. It's happening again. It's just like, yeah, don't think about that. Just focus on work. Not this. It's happening again. It's like, oh no, it is happening again.
And just when she thinks she's gonna get this locked down and be able to put her head down and work more, I think Levi reaches a point where there's a frustrating weight on something, and he just looks over, from where he's seated on one bed to where she's seated at the desk or whatever. And he's like, I think this is real weird, right? Not just normal weird. This is Kivas weird, isn't it? We're right in the middle of this shit.
Levi, I know you saw some shit. But you have to have an open mind with this kind of thing.
I mean, I don't know that there's much of an alternative with some of this stuff that we found just in one day.
A really open mind. If it looks don't try and rationalize it, all right? I know that doesn't make sense, but just be really open mind, all right?
So hippie nose is the actual mythical hypnos.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. I just know I'm not going to sit on those red upholstered chairs.
Yeah, I don't really feel like doing so either.
Yeah.
So that's
exactly. Yeah.
But Martinez, you get a call from your handler. Call me back now. You're not even back to the hotel yet.
All right.
Why don't you pull over here by this liquor store, and I'll give you some privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get drunk.
No. I'm looking to the group.
We can do better than Stag. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna go in there, come back with one of those white disposable styrofoam coolers.
Yeah.
I'll take the keys, step away from the key fob, whatever, step away from the car, and make the call.
It barely rings. Where'd you get that?
On site. How
Is that
open?
it?
How open do you want me to talk here?
It's urgent. Where is it on site now? Is there more of them?
Yeah, dozens. We got a seamstress we're trying to track down. We got emails with crazy shit in it. We've got crazy ass. I mean, there's something real going on. So my first question is, with this thing I showed you, what the fuck is that, and what do we need to expect?
The Arcant guys say that there's not necessarily cause for alarm yet. It's never been translated, that section. It's also never left our files, as far as we can tell. I don't know how that got out there. It's from something called the 7 Cryptical Books of Hassan. They tell me it's from some section about the yellow-veiled women who drink death with their eyes.
Oh, yeah, those gals.
But I'm told that tribal custom and hyperbole is part of the oral tradition or something from them. They're mainly concerned about how I had it to show to them at all. I have been under a bit of a debrief myself.
Okay, look. What can you tell me about the meaning of this thing, the import of it? Right?
I can tell you that that's from a book we have not seen in print anywhere since 1942.
Okay, but
there is no way someone
should
should know how to put that pattern on a fucking...
Yeah, no, take that shit as read. What I want to know is, do we know what this fucking symbol means? Or, you know...
We know what it's alluded to. We have no idea what it's used for. It's never been translated. That's the other thing. Even if somebody had access to it, I don't know how they would know how to use it. There's no cipher. There's no Rosetta Stone. It's nonsense. These guys, they don't know anything about that. They just know that you shouldn't have it.
But you said alluded. What's alluded?
It's mentioned in the Nakadic manuscripts. It's atop the mountain of Nagranik. Again, these yellow-veiled women, part of some sort of cult. We're talking about myth cycle stuff here. But we have no idea what the symbol itself is supposed to mean or the characters within it. Just that what it is used for.
What's it used for?
Like I said, upon a dais upon which to view sacrifice. The yellow-veiled women would drink death with their eyes.
You did not say that. So back up, and if you've got something to communicate, please fucking communicate it.
Okay.
So this goes on a dais?
That's what they said.
A dais. All right, tell me the rest of it.
The yellow-veiled woman will witness the deaths and drink death with their eyes. It was apparently done on the Mount Nagranik. There is no Mount Granik. We don't know what. We just know that this is from some very serious stuff.
All right, this other thing, the what'd you call it? Manuscript.
Nakadic.
Nakadic, yes. That is also referenced in that.
Okay, where's that?
You are not cleared for that information. Do you see the problem? You're not cleared for that information. Cogent Engineering is not cleared for this information. We have leaks. This stuff should not be in the public. I don't even know what it does, but it can't be good. How did whoever this is learn about it? How did a seamstress learn about this? This has been buried in a bunker since World War II.
Yeah.
I have a list of every person who's put eyes on this for the last 70 decades in front of me. And your seamstress isn't on it.
We don't know her name.
Hey, does any of the names start with CLI?
No, not that I've seen from the Arcant side.
All right. We're on the investigation. Other than figuring out who started all this, do we have any particular instructions?
I don't think anybody should be sitting on this shit.
We're not sitting on shit. We've got a crazy ass PDF full of more craziness that we're trying to decipher.
Well, I don't think we told you about that, but I guess.
Oh no, I didn't. Okay, well
Well, you could have sent them more stuff.
Yeah, but we may have been texting obliquely back and forth.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have the details on that, but it's more. My point is, we've got
Heavenly Guardian of Hypnos.
Yeah,
we can send him that PDF.
So yeah, I'll say.
All right, I'll be back with more.
Also, the metadata.
Say,
the metadata of the 2 files.
Yeah,
send them the 2 files.
You know what? Yeah, here we've got files. I'm going to zip them up. I'm going to get the team to
whole lot of
make them as secure as they can.
Red flag.
We'll get it over there. It sounds like it's urgent enough to do this shit digitally at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Get through the encryption.
All right. So listen, Atkinson. I want to keep. I'm trying to keep my team alive here. So, err on the side of telling us what we need to know.
I'm telling you everything I know.
All right.
What I'm telling you is that it's impossible for the person who have done this to have known this by standard definitions.
Unless there's another copy of the book somewhere.
Or there's another source of that information. Where did the book's author get that information from?
All right. I'm going back at it. Watch for a file dump.
All right. We said we go to 6 to 9. So we'll probably wrap up there with you guys going to bed. I whistle. Martinez gets an encrypted email pinging in your little hotel room as you go to bed. And right before the Reign of Terror, the Heavenly Garden of Hypnos is a footnote in French history. It was a royalist pamphlet put out by an anonymous member of the Catholic Church, urging the peasants to retreat from famine and starvation into dreams, using heretical pagan rituals, so that they might better support the king by not bitching about starving so much. Needless to say, the French peasantry was not a fan. It did not do wonders for the church during the whole guillotine part, what with that being circulating amongst the streets, whether it was real or not. But it's generally regarded a footnote in history because owing to the sheer number of Catholic priests that got revolutionarily baptismed during the Reign of Terror, it was generally considered more French mudslinging nonsense press, like Let Them Eat Cake. And it was been suppressed as a heretical Catholic text. No one's seen a copy of it before until you. It was only mentioned in letters of things like Robespierre and various other revolutionaries talking about why we need to kill those bastard second estaters along with the king. But
can you believe the shit that they wrote
now?
Yeah.
And the copy was put onto a Discord server. Yeah.
Yay.
Lucky us.
Finally, also known that Sakaran is a Chichewan epithet. It is gendered, awfully sexual, and considered an egregious insult amongst a language that has no less than 7 tenses for insults. It is in one of the more confrontational tongues ever recorded. It is a pretty filthy slur towards someone. It is gendered towards women, though.
Like a yellow veiled woman. Okay.
Well, what was the context of that again? Let me look that up again. Strain under this weight of this. That's the speaker.
Yeah, we understand the pain of knowing that you are not real, and I strain under the weight of this Sakaran like the slave I was born to be.
Ah, the Sakaran is
the yellow-veiled woman, I would guess.
Or is it what's her name? Casey.
We'll stop there.
Dun, dun,
so
dun.
that is episode 1 of Insolent Impulse, as Agent Martinez, with his team of nerds and criminals, realizes that he has found something worthy of Delta Green's attention. He is just not sure his team is worthy of it. So yeah, questions, comments, and reactions. Yeah.
Oh, it's there's a lot of pieces coming together. It's scary. There were moments where I'm like, oh, there's the friction. There it is. There's those goosebumps.
I do like how in Delta Greens, more so than any other game, it goes like there. It just goes straight from it's fine. Oh God, we're in too deep. Like there's no, you just go from the surface and just thrown into the bottom of the ocean. There's no, you're just
yes, the road ceases to be paved over the course of roughly half.
It's instantaneous, and it's like, oh, as soon as
1
we found
minute
this
you're on a
fucking
smooth 4-lane highway, and then ditch.
Yeah. Into the void. Yeah. So,
I gotta say, the part where watching Caleb tell Shane, you are not cleared for that information. I'm like, now you know how it feels.
That's right. Yeah. It's lack of clearances all the way down.
Yeah. So, Baz, are there any questions urgently we need to get from the chat other than what is going on? Because it's a campaign, and obviously we don't know that yet.
I think the chat's just they're in the same position as the players right now. I've seen a lot of there's not a lot of good pieces here, but we have pieces.
Playing a rousing round of bad libs.
I've been seeing a lot of theories or hypotheses being posited by the chat, and as someone who has read this, I'm loving every minute of.
Yeah, I did let Baz in on the secret.
Oh yeah, it is. Boy, man, I'm not gonna say a fucking word. This is the greatest thing ever. It's like getting to listen to an actual play, but being able to watch the players
fuck up in real time.
Just walk
helplessly scrabbling at the bars of their cage.
Yeah, enjoy the ant farm.
Great.
But yeah, don't go anywhere. We have one more transcript for the chat to watch.
Yeah, and we will be back next Thursday, same time. So keep it regular for a little week. Yeah.
Very cool, Caleb. Thank you.
Ehane, right?
Yeah, Ehane. We'll let people out on what Derek heard before he lost his shit.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I had a great time. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
See ya.
You want the ruby, you must answer as quickly, yes? Yes. Who is this person we see when we sleep? She's old for the tribe, but she lives on blonde, fat like a tree. She works in a warehouse where people use other pain for gold, but she's untouched by the pain. She does not believe what she sees. She's the woman herself has always given her power, and she was made overseer for it. Or would she be known to only her brothers and sisters? Honoreer in the shape of a turn-through, she is marked by the gods. The skin mocked her for it, as they did me when they used to bathe in the sins of Mother Brannock. Good. The number given to them by their chief. What is it? I do not. We must be quick. The number given to them by their ruler. You know them, and you will tell me, or there will be no trade. Zero 5 more. Keep going. 2 5. Keep going. 4 1. 4. You're good. Now what is a shame? She sends it to you. That is what you and I are. Sir Cassidy.
I dare not say.
Then you dare not see him. Speak. Finish
She is unfaithful. There is another man, Jimmy. That is not a name. He aims to goad him. She respects only his beauty, not his people or his ability to provide. But there is another, beyond of the glowing field where she began. She is promised to him, Derek. I see him as she does. He slumps and stares at his glowing fox until it glares, his eyes blind white.
Why? Why does she break their covenant?
It is profane. The fox haunt my sleep.
Now or you get nothing.
Because she knows she can. She knows he will do nothing, that he will grow to nothing. There are no gods there in dreams, nothing to punish her pride. It shames my mind to imagine such wanton sin.
Our minds are many subjects. Here, take your back.
Oh, thank you, Master Cliff.